Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. Stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the Kakao hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the Kakao hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in, got me like on grind. Gotta go up up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the Kakao hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all they got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in, got me like on grind. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. I'm going in. Flip the the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute, standing at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. And I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute, standing at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. And I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we going up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop.
We say yeah. All right, welcome back, guys, to Legends in South Asia. This is semi-final number two, the upper bracket semi-final between Kakao Gaming and Revenants. And while we wait for Singla to connect back, I think there is some technical difficulty right here. Yeah, I'm just very excited for this semi-final to begin. And yeah, just waiting for Singla to connect back as well, as I said earlier. Yesterday win the first game 3-1 against Syndicate. I think that was a pretty close series as well. Syndicate winning the one match to everyone's surprise, especially in game one. And this should be a closer affair coming in, especially with how closely these sides are matched, finishing second and third respectively in the group stages. So again, we will be beginning soon enough, and hopefully my co-caster has joined back. We'll have to get a word on that right now. Uh,
I am here, Kaka. Can you hear me?
all right. Yes.
I think there was some technical issue there. I'm really sorry for
Yeah.
that, but excited to host this game today with you, Kaka. This is a game that I've been really looking forward for, and today's game is Revenants versus Kakao. So, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Who is going to be the winner, or how the games are going to be today?
Man, I think this is going to be a very close series. But before that, let's look at the prize and opportunity coming in here. 10 lakh prize pool and a spot at the LCP wildcard playoffs for the winner of the whole thing. And again, we are in the upper bracket semi-final number 2. Whoever wins faces SATUL next. So I think that is going to be another great matchup. But talking about today's matchup, as you said, I think this is a very close series. And this could, I think, go to all 5 games. I am definitely expecting it to go to 4 games as we look at what has happened so far. Qualifier 1, 2, and 3, starting from April end till June starting, and now we are in the playoffs. 26th of July until August 3rd. So essentially 5 more best of 5s to go for the end of this tournament. And listen, both the teams, I think you know them pretty well, and I am pretty sure that you would be able to tell us what the difference is between them and who might take this one and how well prepared they are. Again, it is a double elimination playoff, so whoever loses still gets one more chance against Syndicate, but that will be their final chance. There are no more hiccups to be left. And again, it is full fearless draft, and we did see Syndicate struggle yesterday in the 4th game. So Singla, do tell us, who do you think is going to take this series? Hopefully give us the scoreline as well. And again, both the teams very close to you. You know most of them, if not all of them. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Oh no, that's correct, Kaka. I think today, I think the meter will be a little bit, a stronger towards Kakao, right? So it's Kakao is the winner that should come out from this fight that is going to be between Kakao and Revenants. But yes, it is going to be a very close fight, because one thing that I'm going to miss on the Rift today is I think Revenants is playing with their subs, because the delay that we have suffered was because some of the main champion, main players of Revenants were not able to show up, and because of that we had certain delay coming up. But yeah, I think we'll get to know the final players, the top, the 5 players that are going to play today's game, and after that, I think I'll get more clarity on how the game is going to go, and what kind of a fight is going to be brought up. But if the top 5 players are not going to be there, then I think it's going to be a one-sided win for Kakao. But let's see how it happens, or we have seen magics happening on Rift, and both the teams have been doing wonderfully amazing. They have some really really talented players. So yeah, I'm very excited about today's game, and with that, we are going to jump into the Rift.
Yeah, and as you said, Revenants do have a missing player, Charan Reddy, towards the top side of the map. AK-45 comes in his place, but rest of the roster remains the same. And finally, for the side of Kakao Gaming, we do see their full roster coming in. Copy, DCW, Sam, Love 2 respectively. And this matchup, the Jax gets banned against Copy. I don't think that should be a surprise. That Let should follow next pretty soon as well. Unless Copy has somehow stopped playing that champion because of the buffs/nerves that it got, the rework. Essentially, the Vlad gets banned against AK-45, sort of a one trick coming in. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Cassiopeia ban as well for the side of Unseen Blade. But I really want to talk about this bot matchup. We had a lot of fighting going on yesterday in the bot matchup, and SATUL essentially losing out in the first game and did sort of struggle a bit. But here I do feel like Sam and Love 2 are one of the better bot lanes. I do think they are the best bot lane in the tournament currently, based on the performance that did come out yesterday from SATUL. So this might be a mismatch towards the bot side of the matchup. What do you think about that, Singla? Since you are a support man and you do know how it works down there.
No, that I think that is something rightly pointed out by you, Kaka. First of all, yes, Sam is one of the best ADC that we have in the Rift. So yes, there is a little bit of skill gap when it comes, especially between the two ADCs that they're playing. But when it comes to support, I think I am still, as a player, as a support player myself, I think Bob has a little bit more leverage over Love when it comes to the bottom. So I think it's going to be a close matchup. Yes, Sam and Love to have been doing beautifully well on this Rift. But I'm excited to see how that matchup goes today with Bob being support for Revenant. Another exciting thing is after a long time I have not seen a Kled ban against Copy. I understand that the champion is not doing really well, but being one trick grandmaster player onto Kled is still something, right? Even with champion being in meta or not, and also already not playing, they have this sub AK-45 playing on top. So let's see. I think that's kind of a bold statement. Let's see if Copy actually decides to pick that Kled or not.
Yeah, I actually like that you can, give it out in the first game. If it works, it works. Sure, you take the loss. But then there are 3 more games to go potentially. So you don't have to ban that champion out in every game. Essentially, that saves up a ban for you. So I am not against that strategy. Of course, there is the risk that you drop a game for it. And that really depends on how it works out. As we see the Sever coming in for Potato Monster, still had his favored Caitlyn and Smolder up, but decides on picking the Sever. And on the other side, I really like the Nami pickup coming in. And that does tell us, right, that's going to be the third pick Lucian coming in for the side of Sam. The Wukong comes in as well. Of course, W can play it, Copy can play it, Dead Corporal can play it. So essentially, the top side players for the side of Kakao Gaming are so versatile. They can play any champion that they want, as the Karma is getting hovered and locked in. So that is going to be the bottom pickup coming in for the side of Revenants. A very strong lane, a lot of wave clear, a lot of poke, and a lot of scaling as well. So I really like that for now. And this should be the jungle pick for Resign. The Viego is open, the Kane is open. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the Viego route. He is also sort of a 2-trick, but it looks like he's hovering the Graves. I would be very surprised if that comes in.
No, I think it's just a hover. I mean, we've seen players playing with us, and yes, the volley bag gets locked in. Actually, I've been seeing Ezian spamming that champ a lot right now in solo queue, practicing on it, and it's been great. So let's see what he can do in this tournament with the volley bag. And yes, Lucian is being hovered something. We have seen a lot picked with Nami, and something that we were expecting and does get locked in. Again, a very, very strong bot lane for this of Kakao. And but at the same time with the Sever and Karma being locked in, there's going to be a lot of wave clear and a lot of room potential for this Karma to have that map presence to get that objective priority and others. So let's see which side wins the most, right? If Sever is able to survive in the lane, Karma is able to create the pressure, or if Sam and Love 2 are able to punish that ADC, get that kill advantage and CS advantage. With that, they banned the Syndra away for Unseen, not getting banned against Copy, not being a very safe pick against him. Let's see if what the next ban is coming out, because something that I'm very surprised about there is, the cast is still open. Will the cast be given away in the game 1, or will it be banned? Is something I'm looking forward to see here.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not going to get banned as the Lissandra ban comes in. And, speaking of the mid matchup for a bit, Unseen Blade has been performing really well in this tournament so far. And same cannot be said for W, who had his own struggles while playing the Azir, while playing the Talia as well, has died quite a lot in these 1v1 matchups, and in the team fights, of course, has not been that impressive. So I do think he is one of the weaker links. If there is one in the side of Kakao Gaming, as the Azir is going to get banned. Not sure if that was necessary, but looks like
Yeah.
Revenants don't want to play against that champion. Uh, and the Ambessa looks like the pickup for the side of Kakao. The Renekton is still open. Not sure if AK-45 can play it, but never mind. The Hue actually comes in for W in this matchup. And I'm really wondering what Unseen Blade decides to play. The Ziggs is quite a good option, honestly. Has gotten buffed recently, so wouldn't be surprised if that comes in. Has a lot of range, has a lot of poke as well, and can do generally well in the mid lane against an artillery mage like Hui. Yeah, I do think that should come in, but it looks like the Diana is going to get locked in. Now, where does that go? Could be mid, could be jungle. We are guessing that it might go in the hands of Azayan, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the mid lane.
No, actually, Diana is a disaster in the hand of Ezzy, and we have seen him play it. I mean, I'm not a disaster might be a very bold word, but not the most comfortable pick there. So I think this Diana has been picked for Unseen and AK-45 picking up that Renekton for him. I've seen him play that Renekton in the mid, and he did really great. So yeah, with that, the draft for Revenants have been finalized. But yeah, again, something that you mentioned about the Azir. I am not very impressed with the level of performance that W has given on that Azir. So didn't seem like a threat. There were so many more champions that they could have banned, but yeah, maybe Revenants had a strategy. And with that, let's see what is the last pick going to be for Kakao, and they pick Kasante. The tank was something that was missing. I was actually excited to see a Yasuo with the Wukong, being available, and copies one of the signature pick being Yasuo. But they decided
Yeah.
to have a tank for themselves in the front lane. Renekton being picked. Again, Renekton hard counters Yasuo. So I think, keeping everything in mind, they decide to pass that on and picks up a front line for his team because Hue can do a lot of damage. Lucian can bring out a lot of damage. So I think they wanted someone to get that, blind picks, someone who can walk into the dark pushes and soak up a lot of damage for the Lucian and give them the right amount of peel.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked, honestly, if the Yasuo came in instead of Kasante. You don't want to counter yourself going against the Renekton, but it does look like the Unseen Blade will be playing the Diana, and I do prefer Kakao Gaming's comp by quite a margin, honestly. They have the tank, they have the disruptive champion in the Wukong, they have the early game in the bot lane as well, and then the mage in the mid lane, the control mage that can deal so much damage. While on the other side, Revenants do lack the sort of range that they would need, and Wukong against such a draft just works wonders for me, especially against three melee champions coming in from the side of Revenants. I'm not a big fan of the mid Diana, I have to say. Even though you can have a good laning phase against the Hue, but come the team fights, I think she's going to struggle quite a lot to get into the back line. So game one draft, it looks like Kakao Gaming have done their homework, banned the right champions that they didn't want to play against, and have picked up a really strong draft for themselves, especially when you see what they have drafted, right? Kasante, again, very tanky champion, and Lucian Nami we saw yesterday as well, piloted by Harambe and Trioxy, and they did really well against SATUL, and I would expect more uh, of the same from the side of Sam and Love too as well, going into this game on.
No, I think rightly said, Kaka. I mean, it's a beautifully drafted comp, and Kakao has come up with something very strong in my eyes. And again, after looking at the comp, it looks, they say the games are decided into the draft pick itself. And yes, the draft pick is won by Kakao. The draft looks very strong. But at the same time, I think, about the Diana pick, maybe, the performance of W. In the last game that we also casted, we saw him dying to the Akshan again and again, right? Dying to the Varus when we won again and again. So I think Unseen is trying with that Diana to get that early damage into his hand, trying to punish W, trying to get that early advantage for his team. If the Diana is fed early, can create a lot of impact in the map. But if he's not able to do that, then that Hue is just going to become an absolute monster, and the comp is much fine refined when it comes to Kakao. So let's see if the Diana is able to get those early kills on W, become that very relevant, and create that map pressure onto the jungle, onto the bot lane, and roam around the map and get that prio. If not, then that Diana is, it's a very risky pick. Something that you mentioned about it's going to be a very risky pick. If he falls behind, is not able to create that impact early, it's going to be an entire coin toss, and nothing can be done by the
Yeah.
Diana, and the team is going to be struggling then to do the damage, because Sivir and Karma are not hyper carries, at least in my eyes. Sivir takes time to get clutch, the range is short, right? So let's see if they're able to save that. Sivir also, Sivir being a very strong champion right now, right? And S tier ADC, but not something that I've seen a lot into the games, especially into Legends in South Asia. So I want to see how Potato is going to do on the champion, and if he's able to do justice with that pick and get that level of damage for his team to get victory for
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, and it has to be said. I think Potato has struggled quite a lot in this tournament. The four of the other teammates have done quite well, so it is going to be up to him to carry the late game if it does get there. The Sivir again can be a hyper carry, as you said, but with such a short range draft, and you are right when you say the Dyna needs to snowball, because if it doesn't, you can't even side lane against the Cassante, who is going to be quite tanky, and you really can't one shot that champion come the mid to late game. So they do have their own struggles as well. This does require them to snowball the Diana, and if that does not happen, I don't see a way to victory for the side of Revenants, who have drafted. I think if they had a better mid lane champion, I would give them some sort of a chance as we jump into game one of this upper bracket semifinal number two. Of course, the winner faces SATUL tomorrow, so quite a lot at stake, honestly. And yeah, onto the rift we go. We see a lot of pings coming in, actually, 5-man strong. From the side of Kakao as they run towards the mid side of the map. And if they can get the Dyna Flash early on, I think it's going to be pretty good for them, as the Unseen Blade is going to actually spot all of them going towards the bot side. Rush right there. I don't think anything's going to come off it. The Volibear does get spotted alongside the Renekton. A good ward in the top side brush in the mid lane from Dead Corporal. As he does go in, I don't think that's a good idea right there. Does take quite a lot of damage, actually. He's going to have to recall and come back.
Yeah, but I think if they recall within that 1 minute 5 second time mark, not much that they're losing. I think the players are just having fun on the rift right now. Love to again taking on some good amount of damage onto the Diana. Diana is not gonna get the back, but yes, the Hue and Wukong, the damage that they soaked up, they went back and are gonna be in time, so it won't really matter. The Lucian is waiting in the bush for the Civic to walk up. Will Potato just walk in? The the Gnami is here. There's a lot of damage coming out from the Lucian, but they decide to just go back. The pots are coming out from the side of Sever. Sever goes 1 4 HP, lose 4 HP there, and struggling a little bit into the lane.
Yeah, Sivir taking quite a lot of damage, has to burn his pot as well, and that's not a good start to the lane. As the Lucian and Nami will have priority now towards the top side. AK-45 getting a half decent trade, but copy with the grasp. I think he should be fine. Connects his Q1 right there. Has the Doran's shield as well, so showing his respect to the champion that is Renekton, the early game bully. And if he can, go even in the laning phase, I think he'll be more than happy with those circumstances. And in the mid lane, you can see the Raptors were warded from the side of Revenants right there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, right now the Revenant's comp is going to be more about picking them one by one. I think in team fight they can't do much. So yeah, the early game will matter a lot for Revenants. They have to get those pick. The Renekton needs to get the kills early game because Cassante is going to outscale him. The Diana needs to get picks early game. The Volley Bear can create a lot of impact in the early game. So let's see if the clock is ticking, and let's see if they're able to secure that early game mark or not, or how it goes from there. Because in an objective fight, when it comes to 5-5
Yeah,
will be
love to.
hard. The Love 2 is already roaming in the mid. He just walked up, I think, exchanged some blows with the Diana, puts him low and goes away. But that gives away that Lucian is alone in the bot lane. Karma, for some reason, did not, press E and go all in. I think Bob was not aware where the Wukong is, didn't want to take chances. But otherwise, I think the Lucian should have been punished there.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not level 3, right? So the Karma cannot really connect her
Hmm.
tether
Fair
if
enough.
she hasn't picked that up. Yes, towards the top side, Copy actually getting a really nice trade, and the same in the bot side of the map. And that gang slash roam actually helped W quite a lot. The Unseen Blade had to burn both his pots just to stay in lane, as the Nami did drop him to like 100 HP right there. So that is going to help W out in his laning phase as Sam takes a boomerang to the face. But I think he's just looking to shove this and go back and pick up his double longsword slash pickaxe, whatever he wishes to do. The Volibear actually is coming down though, and we could see first blood here. The bubble is going to miss. Nami has to burn a flash. Bob comes in, connects his tether. I think that's a dead fish. Potato Monster, you need to hit the Nami. There you go. Unfortunately, doesn't even get the assist right there. But first blood picked up for the side of Revenants, and a really good gank timing from the side of Ezine. And I think that should have been expected. That is the standard time for the junglers to gank right after taking the crab.
Yeah, I think there was some mistake, made from the side of Sam and Love to. They were having a fun time in the bottom with the level of aggression that they can bring. They got over greedy. They thought they can melt up, push the lane in and go back. But Volibear coming in right in the time, dodging the bubble of Nami, getting Nami to flash, and then, landing the stun. But I'm not really sure what Potato did there when both the teammate decided to, lock down the Nami with their stuns. For some reason, Potato still went on to the ADC Lucian, taking out his damage there, and was not able to secure the first blood. The first blood went into the hand of Karma. Again, Karma being a strong support, shouldn't really matter a lot because she can still punish them early game, but would have been better if the ADC was able to get that kill or that early gold for himself because he is going to be the main carry in the late game.
Yeah, 100%. And it looks like the bot lane from the side of Revenants still has not recalled. At least the Sivir has not recalled so far. So I think that's going to lack a lot of tempo right there. And if Dead Corporal decides to take the Dragon, I think that would be a great call for them. Um, you know, Elsewhere on the map, I think still quite even between the junglers as well. And yeah, as you said, I think it would have been better for Potato Monster to at least get an assist, if not the kill. That would have been like 100, 200 gold for him there. As W finally looks like is doing pretty well in this laning phase, has the ultimate available to him, but so does the Diana, who turns level 6 as well. So he has to watch out for the all-in coming in from the Diana, who has the phase rush as well, just in case W decides to fear him or root him in his place. And Copy again getting a really good trade, burns the all out as well. The Dominus is going to get used by the Renekton as well. So the all in all, an Earl trade coming in. And while on the bottom side, Dead Corporal actually ganking mid. Dinah forced to burn her flash right there. And Potato Monster did recall, comes back with the curl and the longsword, so does not really have a lot of damage. AK-45 is still trading quite heavily towards the top side. Copy almost running out of mana, could be in trouble here if he oversteps his boundaries right there. So he has to be careful as well. A lot of poke, and these guys just trading quite heavily, but no kills so far, except for the one in the bot side of the map.
Yeah, I mean that shows you, how equally these teams are mapped. The games have been so many. There's so many plays happening around the map, but yes, the kills are not being secured. I mean, fortunately, Wukong didn't have ult in that gank, or the Nina would have gone down. But now, the Wukong also has reached the level 6 mark. So finally, the team, the champions are getting their ults ready, uh, which will make the inevitable happen. And I think the game is just going to get so much more interesting from here. Let's see how it goes because, I mean, Casante has already secured that heel cut there. They have decided to dive the Renekton. Renekton
Oh
does not
no.
have the ulti, but Casante just goes down. It didn't work as they planned. Kasante was very low. He decides to take the early tower pressure, not calculating it rightly, and goes down to the Renekton. I think the Renekton will be happy with that because the wave
Oh yeah,
is gone easy, so he doesn't lose a lot and
yeah,
get
100%. I
two
think
summer spells for himself. Hmm.
yeah, he will be quite happy with that. Of course, burn the flash off copy. And the kill went over to the Wukong as well. So in isolation, I don't think he loses too much towards the top side. And on the opposite side, Azayan picks up the dragon for himself. So they will be very happy with that trade that has come in. W now getting tagged by the Q. Bob going to not connect the tether right. They love to with a good bubble. Still fighting for that tri-bush control in the bot side. Again, top side, lot of trades. Copy though, doing really well in this lane. 11 CS up, will be a bit more up as well. But on the other side, now the grubs have been started, and I don't think it's going to get contested as we see Azayan towards the bot side of the map. He's looking for a gank right here. Let's see if he can get a kill. Never mind, he's going to get spotted, and I think Kakao Gaming, especially the bot lane, are going to be pretty safe from this gank.
Yeah, you know what I'm confused about, after all the lead that you have on Renekton being an early carry, why was the shoes
Oh,
as the
rinse and
first
repeat.
item made, right? Yeah, they know there is no flash with Renekton. This time the Kasante was much more tankier with the whole HP, so they decided to go with another dive, but this time they came out successful. The heal cut is already made for Kisante. The Renekton was not able to heal a lot, and the damage is there. For some reason, Kasante has, I mean, sorry, Renekton has finished the shoes first. That makes him lack the damage in the trades that are happening into the top, and Kasante is able to win the trades against him. I'm not really sure about that build, to be very honest.
Um,
You can guide me a
I
little
mean,
bit
I
more
don't
there.
mind it. While we discuss that later, the gank is going to come in. Flash lands onto the Nami, who I think is gone. Uh, right there, and that's going to be the feats of warfare claimed from the side of Revenants. But W is here, misses his ultimate completely after the flash, and the tether connects onto Sam as he's going to go down as well towards the top side. Another fight brewing. Dead Corporal is here with the Cyclone. Unseen Blade should die as he does. No flash, no dominance onto the Renekton. So I think this is going to be a 2 for nothing towards the top side. So essentially a 2 for 2 coming in. All in totality, right here, the top side doing work for the side of Kakao, and in the bottom side, I think Sam and Love 2 should be playing a bit more careful, and W just TPing and for burning his flash and not getting anything is going to cost him quite a lot as well. There was some misplays from his end, uh, but I think Dead Corporal and Copy still bailing out Kakao in this early game.
Yeah, AK-45 should have anticipated that the Wukong has to be topside. There's a lot of pressure that he's creating on the top. There was gank happening in the bottom. Four members were spotted, but not. I mean, three members were spotted, but not the jungler. So right now, the Renekton has started struggling into the lane. It's about one level behind. Copy right now. Casante looks into lead, already finishing their first item, whereas Renekton is about 32 CS below. I mean 32 CS down and one level below the Casante. So yeah, overall the Wukong looks very fair. The Casante looks very fair, but Asian has been doing a wonderful job creating that pressure into the bottom, trying to give that lead to Sever because he knows that is his winning side, and Sever is a champion who can carry them late game, or denying that early aggression to the Lucian. So it's kind of a win-win. So let's see how the game goes from here.
Yeah, 100%. But I do fear for them, especially because of what's been happening in the top side. I think that Kasante is going to be unkillable pretty soon. Has the Thorn Mail completed, I believe, and he's under no pressure. You know, when it comes to getting killed by this Sivir or the Renekton as well. Sivir, of course, has not gotten the kills she would have liked, so she's not accelerated too far as well. And Dead Corporal again doing a good job diving the Renekton again and again. I think that is going to be, it's going to work out pretty well for them come the team fights because of the Kasante and the Wukong. And the Lucian Nami, of course, they are quite behind as of now, but still, as a bot lane, do deal a lot of damage even at one item. So For now, Kakao Gaming, especially with that top side accelerating so far ahead, I think they are feeling quite comfortable in this game one.
No, 100%. Cassandra becoming the monster that he does become into the late game. They do not have any tank shredder. Something that we were also talking about. The Diana has to get that early win for herself, and it's been about 12 minutes into the game, and right now she only has one death but no kill. There is no pressure that she's able to create into the mid because I think even Love 2 has been roaming beautifully, giving that backup to Hue and giving him the comfort, taking away any kind of pressure from him. And W is just able to farm nicely with the kit that he has. With that, he goes all into the Diana. Diana is going to soak up the damage, but is just left at 1 HP. With that, there is a lot of action happening to the bot. The Lucian is doing so much damage to the bot, but Volibear comes just in time, saving their bot lane and denying the kills to that Lucian. Right now, both the players are 1 HP, and the Diana gets sniped by Hue, and Hue picks up another kill for himself.
Yeah, and that is the lead from the side of Dead Corporal, translating just the pressure of him being there. And Hue, of course, W on that champion does well to snipe out uh, the Diana who goes 0 2 and 0. And we were talking about that if that champion falls behind, it is essentially uh, quite useless against the com they're playing against. So again, I'm not a big fan of the dynamite, and it is turning out to be a horrible game for the solo laners of Revenant so far. And even the bot lane for Kakao Gaming have not picked up any kills, but the sheer number of plates and the CS difference is keeping the Lucian more than even in this matchup. Has the first item completed as well. So I don't think the team fights are gonna look too good for the side of Revenants, as they are now 5,000 gold behind. The Dragon is going to get started pretty soon. A Dead Corporal actually hunting for this Karma. The Cyclone should come in as well, although he has gone in alone right now. Burns the Flash as well. But Love 2 is here. He connects the bubble. Top side of the screen, W is coming in as well to see if he can get the kill. And yes, another snipe comes in from him, and he goes on a killing spree. Uh, and that is going to be the second dragon of the game. First dragon for the side of Kakao of this game right here.
Yeah, I mean that's the third kill that W was able to secure with the snipe. I think he's good at sniping with that Hue and is able to pick up, secure kills for himself and his team. So yeah, I mean the game has started looking, a bit of disaster for Revenants with time that is going on because something that we discussed about. It will matter a lot into the solo lanes how the team perform right now. Nami walking up too far into the blind bush, gets caught by the Diana who goes all into the Nami. Wally Bear picking up the stun and gives away that kill to Diana. But yeah, as I was speaking before that, the solo lanes mattered a lot here. There had to be dominance in the early game, with Renekton and Diana being picked, but they did not win that early game and end up losing, which will make them struggle again. Again, Lucian getting a free kill onto Potato just starts the ult and is able to, melt down that Sivir to 0 HP and picks up another kill for himself. Now Lucian is about 20 CS ahead this Sivir and is going to deny a huge wave and pick up a tower for himself.
Yep, and that is going to be the first turret of the game, but never mind. Azine is here, burns his flash, turns Sam. Dead Corporal, though, is there as well, and a beautiful Nami ultimate actually is going to stop the Volibear from extending too far and getting the Lucian right there, as they are going to secure this first turret of the game. Still have gotten two objectives as well for themselves. So if they pick up one more, I think that's going to be the feats of strength completed for them. The Lucian goes back, picks up the BF sword as well. So he is well and truly accelerated as well. And you look at the goal lead as well, 15 minutes and 5,000 for the side of Kakao. Two items on this scary Cassante. Meanwhile, the Renekton has not had a good game. Only the Clawfield's hammer completed alongside the boots for him. So he is under as we wait to complete that sentence, actually he goes in onto W, but I don't think he has the damage to finish him up. The fear lands, the ultimate is there as well. Bob coming there. The Mantra Q is not going to deal a lot of damage. The Unseen Blade has come in as well. A beautiful fear. And the Flash is denied as well from the side of Dead Corporal. They do shut down W, but at what cost remains to be seen as the culling comes in. Bob is going to go down. No Flash onto the Renekton, and he's going to go down. And then Zion does not have the ultimate, does not have the Flash, and he's going to go down pretty soon as well. And that is going to be a 3-for-1 for the side of Kakao Gaming, who punished the over aggression coming in from the side of Revenants.
Yeah, I think the intention for Renekton was okay, but he had to know his strength. He had zero item there going on to a full HP Hue trying to melt him down. Could get him low, but could not secure because the items were not in place. But the team got too desperate. I think the stress right now onto the team, the pressure onto this team can be seen on the Rift. The judgment was impaired. They all went all in for just one Hue and ends up losing life of four members for themselves. Again, a trade going into the favor of Kakao. With that, Kakao is at a 6,000 goal lead for themselves, and the game has started slipping away slowly from the hand of No, actually, not slowly,
I
far, very, very
I
fast
think I
from the
would say
hand
this
of
has
Revenant.
slipped away. I
Yeah,
think this
and
has
and
slipped away
it
for
looks
sure.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bob now having to burn his flash and heal to get out of that situation, as W had connected his ultimate onto him. And I don't think there is any avenue for the side of Revenants now to come back. I think they have fallen too far behind with the calm that they needed to get ahead with, especially with the Renekton and Dyna pickup coming in. Mid lane, I think it has been a masterclass from the side of W so far, but I think it has all been about Dead Corporal on that Wukong, right? 6-0 and 4. 700 gold shutdown bounty, got his top laner ahead. Again, right place, right time, most of the time in this game, as Sam has completed 2 items for himself as well. And if you are Revenants, I'm not sure how you come back into this one. Maybe you can turtle toward till the late game comes, and maybe the Sivir gets her 3-4 items, but highly unlikely at this point.
No, I mean, Kaka, that's something that we've talked about before. Kakao knows how to, snowball with their lead. Kakao knows how to shut down game. So I don't think so.
100%.
With an experienced veteran team like Kakao is going to make mistake, and there should not be any comeback, coming up from Revenants, because at this moment, Kakao will be thinking how to finish this game at the earliest. Right, another dragon coming up. They're waiting for the Baron to spawn. They're gonna look for a team fight, secure some kills, get a Baron, and end the game as soon as they can.
Yeah, I don't even think this goes to the Baron, and that's another 6 minutes till that one spawns. The Rift Herald, of course, was picked up by the Wukong, who still has it in his inventory. They are picking the second dragon as we speak, and Sam just establishing his dominance in the mid lane right now. A whole item up on the Sivir, actually. As the Unseen Blade looks for the top turret, will not be able to secure that. A lot of pings coming in towards the mid lane. They want to punish this bot lane, but again, the Renekton is shushed off by this monkey who is going in. The bubble connects. Dominus has been progged from the Wukong. And Copy is going to drive this Herald, is going to knock up 1, 2, and 3 people. Unfortunately, not able to damage the turret, but I think we could be looking at the end of the game already at 20 minutes, as I don't think there is anyone who can stop this onslaught coming in from the side of Kakao Gaming.
I think you were correct. It's not going to be a 6 minutes wait. I think with the fact that they are already into the Unitary and Diana being low, who is not going to let it back, and they're just gonna end the game. Something that we talked about, that Kakao knows what to do with the lead. That Wukong was an absolute monster. Even though I will still want to give it to Ezian. I think Ezian played it beautifully. He did what he could. He tried to get some kills in the bottom for his team, right? He was able to secure that, but all the team members were just falling apart slowly, not able to do anything on 1v1 on against the enemies, and in the end falls down. With that, the game one goes to the side of Kakao, ending it at just 21 minutes.
Yeah, and that was a very dominant game coming in from the side of Kakao, just laying their marker down and showing what they are made of. That was a very quick game. I honestly did not expect that. But again, as you said, Kakao Gaming do know how to push their leads and do know how to snowball once they get that lead, and that's exactly what we have seen. The Rift Herald coming clutch right there, I would say, to secure the victory for the side of Kakao Gaming at only 20 minutes. And now Revenants have to go back to the drawing board and think what they can do differently. Maybe pick up the Viego uh, for Azion. Maybe the they need their top laner to come back as well to, stand up tall against Copy, who has had a really good game alongside his jungler.
No, absolutely. I think Wukong was an absolute beast. He was all around the map, creating that pressure onto the top. And Charan Reddy was missed into the rift. I think someone that I was looking forward for. Charan has been performing so well into copy. I mean, I will not say it's an even fight because Charan can do really well onto the tanks. But he was missed today onto the rift. AK-45 getting a lot of pressure from copy, getting a lot of pressure from you know, from that Wukong dead couple and was not able to sustain that, slowly falling apart. Diana pick didn't come to clutch. There were a lot of maybe thoughts put behind. They thought they're gonna create a lot more pressure onto W, but the Nami was always there to protect him. The Wukong was there to protect him, and Diana was not able to do anything, and the game just slips away. With that, we end our game one. It was a very quick game, ending in 20 minutes 33 seconds. 6 kills to the side of Revenants to 17 kills to the side of Kakao. 31,000 gold to 42,000, about 11,000 gold lead. 1 torrent to 7 torrents, 1 dragon to 2 dragons to the side of Kakao. 1 Rift Herald, which did the job of Baron that I was looking forward for. Void Grubs being picked, 3 Void Grubs being picked for the second of from the side of Kakao. A absolute one-sided dominant game played by Kakao, as we can see on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's just a very one-sided scoreboard that we looked at, except for the dragon and 1 turret going over to the side of Revenants. Nothing doing for them, only the 6 kills picked up. And now we look at the MVP for this game, 180 and 6 on this Wukong in the jungle, 691 damage per minute, 7.4 CS. I think that matters too much. Almost 11,000 gold for this monster in the jungle. Dead Corporal just doing a fantastic job. We didn't even get to see the team fights because of how well he played and the area of the map that he chose to punish, getting Copy ahead so early on and getting himself so ahead early on, and just diffing out the enemy jungler in this game one. And as you said, actually, Azion did not even have a bad game. It's just Dead Corporal was having a fantastic game one.
Yeah, I mean, I think even the laners, helped him there, and he was able to pick up those early games. I mean, early kills. I mean, Copy did not take any kills. Got 3 kills in the early game from the top, and he knew how to snowball. Giving kills away to Dead Couple is a person who knows how to take the team to victory, and he did. And with that, we'll take a short break and be back for the next game very shortly.
Right, guys, welcome back to Legends Ascent South Asia. We have swapped our cast, and now Madness is here alongside me as we will take you through this upper bracket semi-final number 2 and game 2 as well. Madness, welcome back. I'm not sure if you saw the first game, but it was quite a quick affair coming in from the side of Kakao Gaming, ending at only 20 minutes and 33 seconds.
It was definitely. I think the start was better on the side from Revenants, but then eventually, Kakao just took over. Dead Corporal was doing his stuff on the top side. You had the mid side of the mid lane just going pretty unstoppable on the way. The damage was coming out. The pressure was there. I just think that is what we expected from Kakao in this matchup, and Revenants fell shortly behind. I think their bot lane was doing okay in the beginning parts, where you saw, Sam and his support getting caught out quite a bit. They're not aware of that. But that was the only plus point basically coming into this matchup for Revenants coming here. So they have to maybe switch it up in their solo lanes as well, get some more dominance there, and maybe if Churn Ready comes in, it can fill in. Because I think the only time we've seen AK-45 play in the top side for Revenants was he's playing the Predator. So I don't know what else he has in store for us if he continues to be playing in that top side.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not sure if he is coming for that game 2 or not. So I think that is going to be quite interesting. But if it is AK-45 for the game 2, then I think it is going to be a bit of a struggle, especially against Copy, who's just a veteran at this point. Does really well in these isolated matchups, can tank up bans or, like a ban or two and still be fine. So I think that is a, point of concern for the side of Revenants. And I do want Azan to pick one of his carry junglers now. He tried the Volibear, did fine on it, honestly, but I think his team needs more from him, and especially needs a carry champion from him to stand a chance in this best of 5.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking the same thing. He can't just be that reliable backbone. He has to be on the front lines as well, getting some of the damage out from himself. His Viego, something he can go on. His Lily as well. The other kind of things we expect from his Zan, because he is a guy with even Funnel Gold, he can actually try and carry games around. But without any further ado, guys, we're jumping in to the second draft of this upper bracket final 2. The Vladimir ban against AK-45 makes complete sense. Target him with the smaller pool, especially that you're isolating him towards the top side of the map over here. So that would be an better said than done. Bob is also maybe gets targeted quite a bit later. Depends on if his Lux or Blitzcrank gets banned out in those orders. And Potato Monster maybe also warrants bans for the Tristana Smolder. So they are kind of things that you have to go on. Exactly. Talking about that Tristana gets banned out against him, the Jax against Copy.
Yep, and it looks like the bans are not going to change from either of these sides. So far, at least, same bans as game 1 for the side of Kakao Gaming, and they might look to ban out the Blitzcrank as well, which was banned in the previous game. And for the side of Revenants, of course, the Jax, I don't think Copy is going to get that champion throughout the series. Surprisingly, the Kled was left open in that game 1, and Copy did not actually pick that champion. So that is something we can still keep our eyes on, as Ashe is going to get banned against Sam. Again, he is a really good Ashe player, still has the Samira available to him, still has these other couple of champions like the Smolder available. I don't think it's going to matter too much when it comes to Sam. The Caitlyn as well is the one I was looking for. The Ezreal, he can play that. So again, the same bans coming in from the side of Kakao Gaming. Jarvan and Ashe is the adapted bans from the side of Revenants. And the Lulu gets logged in first.
Ooh, Lulu first pick. So you're seeing some hyper carry is going to be coming out from Sam most likely at this point. Yunara is also open for taking. Only Lotus has played it so far in Legends Ascent since it's come out. And just talking about Copy as well. I think Copy, after the changes in the Kled, it was left open against him in another series before in Legends Ascent, just during the league stage, and no, he still didn't pick it up. So maybe he's not feeling it right now compared to what he was before, and that's why people are leaving it open, just adapting to how the meta has changed slightly and how the buffs and have come in, or the debuffs, how I'm going to put it. So maybe that's why it's not being picked. Maybe he's going to use it as a selection, maybe in 4th, 5th games, depending on how series go. Maybe he's going to leave it as his card like that, and maybe if it doesn't get banned, that's another good point for him. But Kog'Maw getting picked up from Potato Monster. Now also on the lower side of the champion who disappears out just because of the failure draft of game 1. And Ezreal will be picking up the Xinjiao, so will be playing a bit more aggro, will be playing carry, and he has that early gank potential coming in as well. Always a good champion to see coming out from him. But let's see what the answer will be from Kakao Gaming.
Yeah, 100% has more agency on this champion compared to the Volibear. Bruce is sort of a champion. You can carry the game as well, as we saw Infi do it last night on the same champion. 15, 2 and 14, I think his score was, as the Nocturne now comes in. And that Kog'Maw just seems like a denial from the side of Kakao Gaming, but I don't think they'll mind picking up something like the Jinx with the Lulu. So I don't think they care too much about the denial of Kog'Maw right there, as the Orianna now comes in for W. So I think that should have been the Jinx pickup, honestly, from the side of Kakao Gaming, as the Revenants can now ban that champion out and ban something else as well, maybe the Aphelios along with it, to deny the hyper carry from the side of Kakao Gaming. And the Unseen Blade now has to pick his champion. Syndra was banned in the previous game. It is open right now. Should they decide to pick that for him in the mid lane?
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's going to be the Veigar coming out from him. He's going to be
Not
locking
sure
that up
if,
against.
He intended to do that, honestly.
Yeah, might have been just the last minute. We might even have a rehost covering it for them. But Veigar comes in. The side of Kakao Gaming have that, try and tested Nocturne Orianna combo available to them, depending on how it goes. The banning phase is still continuing. So if this ban comes through, that will pretty much assure that it's the Veigar being picked up. It's going to be the Gnar ban against Copy, who has been playing this champion quite a bit. It's a good blind pick for him as well. But depends on what pickup comes later on. Rel gets banned out from Kakao Gaming. They don't want to ban the Rel with the Kog'Maw, but also the Lulu ban also denies the Kog'Maw pair up of the Lulu bot set. You have the Melee also available to you, depending on how you want to pilot that as well. Plus, a Karma as well will also do good. The Varus ban coming out pretty try and tested in terms of ADCs right now with the on hit as well as the poke. The Braum ban, a very good one, especially the current state that Braum is in. As we see what Revenants want to most likely pair up this Kog'Maw with here in the bot side.
Yeah, I like that Braum ban coming in. Can provide a lot of shields to the Kog'Maw and save him in these team fights. So I think that's an excellent ban. The Gnar and Varus ban, again, the Jinx is still open, and I think Kakao Gaming should be fine picking that champion should they decide to do so. Is getting currently hovered. So I think that's just a very poor banning phase from the side of Revenants, especially when you see the Lulu. It is one of these hyper carries that Kakao Gaming would want to pick up for themselves. The Alistar is going to get logged in alongside now Jinx for Kakao Gaming that we were speaking about earlier. I like the Alistar pickup as well, but right now they do lack the sort of enchantment or the beefy front line that is needed for the Kog'Maw. And now the Kled is actually going to get logged in. So I think this is the first time that we see Copy play this Kled in a professional game, surprisingly, because it is almost always banned against this guy.
It is exactly almost banned. The banning just stopped as soon as that clear changes came in. That's what put people for a bit of a throw, and now they left it open. Copy's got to be gobbling that up for game 2 for himself. He'll be facing AK-45 on the Cho'Gath in the top side, something that AK-45 is also used to be playing. But yeah, like you say, I've talked a lot of Uncharted. There's not much for the Kog'Maw to get that added attack speed alongside him, plus the shielding from him. There's nothing on those varieties. You have a bunch of peel in the Alistar coming from him, but might be a mistake, especially since you've left the Jinx open. The Jinx is going to be free hitting against Xin Zhao, against the Cho'Gath, against the Alistar, and she gets and he has Love to as the support right on that Lulu. The shields come in, the ultimate from Lulu will coming in, and you have to worry about Copy of all things in the top side. If Copy gets that advantage top side, this could be mayhem in this game. Like I said, this is the first time we're going to see him playing it professionally over here, given that it has been left open, given that he has taken it, and boy, I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's going to run the Ignite as well on that champion. So he is going to have a lot of early pressure, kill pressure coming in. And yeah, I am just, I would say, scared for the side of Revenants in this game too as well. Especially with the Veigar and Kog'Maw. I think you have a lot of scaling, but they lack the early game that they require. Especially if you saw game 1, I'm pretty sure you did. It was the early game where Kakao Gaming got the lead and then snowballed it into a very quick victory. And it does not look like Revenants have learned from that mistake, coming in with the Kog'Maw first pick. So that is, again, a lot of scaling picked up. And I am not a big fan of that, especially when it comes to playing against Kakao Gaming. You need to go head to head against them in the early game, because if you don't, and if they get the lead, then it's going to be lights out very quickly for the opponent team.
Exactly. I don't like that it's just a complete scaling from their side on the Kog'Maw and the Veigar. Like you said, the early game will be lacking, and that's where Kakao Gaming will be definitely looking to pressure. At least it's not an early game jungler from the side of Dead Corporate, but even on the Nocturne, he's used to be giving those early ganks even before power farming to that level 6. He actually does go in a lot of times. The top side was pressured by him quite a bit in game 1. Maybe with Copy now having so much utilization against AK-45, even if he runs that Ignite with him, there will be a lot kill potential there. He can focus on the bot side, and this Kog'Maw is going to be left for open. The Veigar is going to have a tough time in the mid lane as well. He has to always be aware of where the opponent jungler is to maybe go for that. The scaling is going to come in, but it's going to come at such a later part of the game. I don't think we even get to see that part of the game. I think honestly a bit of mistake for Revenants, not even a bit, a drastic mistake for Revenants just during this drafting phase coming out from them.
Yeah, it does look like that, but again, we will have to go into the game and then find out, what actually works. I mean, Revenants do have a really scaling comp, as we said earlier, and if they can get to that late game, then surely they will be undeniable. But for the side of Kakao Gaming, the sort of global pressure that they have coming in from the side of that Kled, of that Nocturne, I think it is going to be quite worrisome for the poor Kog'Maw and the Veigar as well to survive that sort of onslaught. Especially, I mean, you hate playing against champions that can jump on your face if you're playing the Veigar and Kog'Maw, and that's exactly what Kakao Gaming have drafted for themselves.
Exactly, you're going to have to be very scared if you are Revenants about getting jumped on like that. The Alistar is going to have a tough time peeling for two people at the same time, basically, over there, because he has to go for the Kog'Maw as well as helping the Veigar out. AK-45 also a bit more scaling on the Cho'Gath as well, so it's like a lot scaling on their side. And honestly, we have talked about this again. Our region is not the one that usually ends up playing scaling champs, just because we have that heavy pace aggression kind of game style that goes on in the earlier stages. We like to see rounded outcomes. At least you have something for the early game, at least to let you reach to that late game point, and I don't see that much coming out from them. It's going to be a lot on the shoulders of Ezreal to try and help out in the early stages of this game with the Zinja, with that early aggression that he can at least show on the champion, and maybe help out lanes that will be maybe start falling behind. And it's going to be a tough time because you're hardly going to get prio ever in the top or the bot, depending on how this matchup goes. And it's going to be hard for the jungle objectives later on for Ezreal, so you're not going to get that much pressure for yourself. And this is definitely going to be a tough time, but hey, we've seen it happen before. We have seen people with maybe the worst comps in matchups end up winning games, so hopefully that happens for Revenants. Hopefully they can maybe make the series 1-1, because otherwise it's looking like Kakao Gaming are pretty much steamrolling their way to that upper bracket final against SC2L Esports.
Yeah, 100%. I think that is looking likely, especially going off this draft. And you pointed out, I don't think Revenants have any winning lane for themselves. Veigar will try to scale. The Orianna should have the early pressure coming in for the objectives. Same for the top side. Kled, especially if he runs the Ignite, is going to have a lot of pressure as well. And towards the bot side, Jinx and Lulu should be fine against the Kog'Maw and Alistar as well. And if they just don't die in the 2v2, I think Jinx and Lulu are going to outscale the Alistar and Kog'Maw as well, as a pair that they are. So yeah, a real cause of concern for the side of Revenant, especially with the drafts. I would have liked to see the Caitlyn come in for the side of Potato along with the Lux for Bob. I think that would have been a winning lane and a winning avenue for the side of Revenants, but they don't want to pick those champions right now in their pursuit to deny the Kog'Maw Lulu, and I think that could backfire quite heavily for them.
Exactly. I think, they're just trying to deny the Kog'Maw, like you're saying, because Caitlyn is something Potato's more comfortable, I think, playing on in these kind of cities. He's played it quite a few times before when his Susana gets banned out. And Bob, we all know about his preference of that Lux because it gets banned against him a lot of times. They chose the Blitzcrank instead this time. So yeah, maybe just try to deny, and this instead of playing proactive in the draft, they were being more counteractive, and even then they left open the Jinx open in the second part of it. They left open the Kled overall, maybe just assuming that Copy is just not going to be playing this champion, but Copy throws them a curveball, picks up the Kled for himself, and now AK-45 is going to be struggling, because remember, this guy is subbing in for Churn Ready in the top side. Usually when we've seen AK-45 sub in for this side, he's usually in the mid side instead of unseen play, depending on how the circumstances are. But right now in the top side, and the only time we've seen him actually do well in top side was with Renekton. That's gone out the window just because of Creator Draft, because of game one. Now he's bringing in the Cho'Gath. Depending on how it goes for him, it could be a tough time. Now he's playing against one of the best top laners in our region, plus him on his signature champion. This is going to be a really, really tough battle for him in that top phase.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, AK-45 just, being brought in. He is a mid laner. I don't think he plays top too much. Asked to fill in for Charan Reddy, who is, one of the better top laners as well, does play his Mordekaiser Dion, can be that tank that the team requires. And I think that's exactly what Revenants are looking for as well in this draft. But again, unfortunately, for some reason, Charan Reddy is not here, and AK-45 has to fill in. Did sort of okay in the first game, in the laning phase at least. But then, back-to-back ganks coming in from the side of Dead Corporal really just stopped AK-45, and his Renekton as well in the early game. So I think that was pretty well done from the side of Kakao, who have actually looked really strong in that game one. If we are going to judge them based off that, this game too should be a quick one as well, especially with the picks that have come in. We're really comfortable champions for all of these guys as we jump into game two of this upper bracket semifinals number two. And of course, the winner faces SATUL tomorrow in the best of five. And I, for one, can't wait for that to happen. And it looks like Copy is running the TP instead of the Ignite. So I think he's going to be fine. Looking to scale up towards the mid game and then put the pressure down.
Yeah, he'll scale up. He'll have the TP for his macro plays as well. Dead Corporal uses his Q to check over there. He's getting slowed down by Ezin, but he has members close by. Unseen Blades coming in. Does he have the K to the Q? But it doesn't connect on to Nocturne. Nocturne's gonna be safely out. He just takes some damage over there. He's just gonna recall, get his reset over there. Nothing big coming out over on this side. On the bot side, you can see Alistar's running that exhaust that will hopefully prevent two of his carries from end up dying later parts of the game as well. On the bot side pressure, but both ADCs will be running that barrier for themselves. You have the phase rush on W, you have the electrocute on Unseen Blade. Let's see if he can survive the laning phase, because W with that Adam moving from phase rush will be dodging a lot of the abilities Unseen. W will be dodging a lot of abilities that Unseen Blade will be dishing out. Even now, Unseen Blade is starting on a slightly lower part of the HP compared to W, just because how the initial parts of this game had gone up. But we have a glacial augment on this Alistar as well. So if he goes in and slows him, it could be nice. But I think Sam and Love 2 are experienced enough to keep their distance, keep it in a nice part that they won't get caught out like that. Both junglers starting on the opposite side of the map, Nocturne on the top, Zinja on the bottom. A bit of a cheese place, maybe was expected from Sam and Love 2, but it didn't come to fruition. But Bob comes in with the head, but pushes Love 2 away. Nothing else of excitement starting out, and let's just see how this top side actually ends up happening for Revenants.
Yeah, Unseen Blade definitely looking to stack up his Q and get the AP of that as W looks to trade here. Copy going to get ruptured right there, but I think it shouldn't matter too much towards the top side. A very slow start from both the teams right now. The electrocute onto the Veigar is the one that I'm looking at. People do run the unseen, the spell book on him, comment as well on him, as the zap is going to connect level 2 hit for the side of Sam and Love 2, who is as of now CSing perfectly, getting all the minions. So huge props to him right there. And both the junglers as well matching that jungle path right there for now. But Azine going towards the red side is going to, let's see if he gets spotted right there actually doing that Raptor camp. And for the side of Dead Corporal, he runs towards his golems, leaving the red buff actually. So quite an interesting pathing coming out from him.
Yeah, he does leave it up. Now, finally, we see the headbutt pulverize coming in from Bob. Locked in Sam into place. Potato Monster is trying to trade, but not enough right now over the top side. You can see Copy has that eternal pressure on top over there. He has to be worried that Ezin should be in the top side right now. This is around the timers where they can come in. He does get dismounted over there. Nice, another headbutt pulverize, but from Bob, it's on to Love 2. He just takes damage for it instead. Copy should be aware, but he is not. Ezin comes in over here. He gets another Q. The Q3 should be landing in, plus the W. There should be a dead Copy. He's trying to mount again, but no, the bar doesn't fill up in time. First blood of this matchup going over to Revenants, going into AK-45 with the help of Ezin over. Then Copy just not respecting that the jungler can be there on the top side of the map.
Yeah, and it is sort of that gank as well. You don't expect it because one of the camps was left from the side of SN, but now the TP comes in and he's going to go for a repeat gank. And I think that was a terrible TP from the side of Copy, who's going to die surely once again. The wind becomes lightning. Is he going to pick one kill? There you go. Picks up the kill onto SN right there. AK-45 might have to burn his flash to get out. Exactly does that. But Copy with a huge outplay in the 2 versus 1. in the top side is going to pick up the double buff for himself. Never mind just the red buff for himself, but he is looking pretty solid now in that top lane.
Yeah, and you've allowed Ezin to stay there for so long. Would look like a mistake with him tipping in, turns it around, mounts back up again, changes how that outcome looks, and this is why Poppy is known to love this Kled, and he loves playing those kind of matchups over there. He's going aggressive because he knows he's going to dismount. I think he's safe. There's no flash open from AK-45 to come in onto him, so he'll be on that nice part. He just also uses Q to get that distance as well. But bot side, it looks like they're trying to freeze the wave. Sam has to be careful because Bob can just jump on at any time. The W just to even just pick up some CS for himself, Kogmo, and this Alistar trying to keep the pressure. But it's already a 10 CS in favor of Sam right now. So even if you try to freeze the wave, he's not going to be doing that much. He just maybe stalls them out. Sam's just going to be back, even maybe just get a recall instead. He knows it's going to be frozen, so he's just going to back away, get his reset, get maybe a cull, and walk back into this lane. So, and I don't think they've even realized it from their Revenants because they're still trying to keep this freeze going on instead of getting that aggro push in and reset the lanes basically over. There's going to be a huge wave that comes in. Nice headbutt pulverized from Bob. He gets the stun maybe onto Love to exactly what will happen over there. Can Potato wants to capitalize? I don't think we have enough damage right now. Maybe 2 more autos would have secured it, but no. Love to will be getting out with his life. Sam does come back to lane. He's picked up a BF sword, actually had enough gold for that, so comes back into the lane with this much. So he has that added attack damage, and now the resets are going to be a bit messed up from the side of Revenants. It's going to be a combo with just that Doran's Blade, but look at this. Ezreal's back there towards the top side of the map. Will Copy spot it out this time? Hopefully will have that in his books that this Ezreal is been missing for quite some time yet again, but it looks like they go for a repeat, and the W misses from the Zinja, allows Copy to walk away. And so Ezreal's been trying to put too much focus on the top side over there, and he's only gotten 1 kill out of it. Plus, he's died once also because of it.
Yeah, and I mean, it does reflect on Copy CS, but he is absorbing a lot of pressure right there from the side of Azen towards the top side, and his jungler, meanwhile, that Corporal on the Nocturne is power farming, is going to hit level 6 pretty soon, as well as the start of the Dragon, knowing the Zenja was towards the top side. But this one's going down pretty slowly, and this could backfire against them, actually. As the Zinjao has complete idea of what's going on. Alistair goes in, exhausts that Corporal. The Dragon will be stolen as well from the side of Azayan. The event horizon is beautiful right there, but the shock wave 3-man again, though no resets for the poor Jinx. A beautiful head, but Love 2 has to flash away from the pit right there. And yeah, 2 for 1 coming in from the side of Revenants there, picking up the feats of warfare and the dragon as well for themselves. So that was sort of a greedy call coming in from the side of Dead Corporal and Co, essentially, and it does backfire.
It definitely does, and in the end also Dead Corporal a bit of a fail flash over the wall, so burns his flash, it still ends up going down. And Essien pretty much just walks in there, W's the Drake once and just smites it and takes it for himself. Dead Corporal didn't have the chance to go for the smite of himself, and yeah, that's a bit of a fail play coming in from Kakao Gaming. So Revenants now picking up some of the tempo they lost. They even picked up the feats of warfare because of the exchange over there. There are 3 kills to just the 2 of Kakao Gaming, are slightly up in terms of gold as well, around 600 to around that 700 mark for them. Copy is now having a fun time in the top side, is recovering some of that CS. He lost only 6 CS behind, but AK-45 has a huge wave coming towards him. AK-45 actually picks up a Ruby Crystal plus a Dark Seal coming back into lane. Bot side, you can see the Jinx is looking to get the Berserker Greaves next. He has the boot component, maybe making the killing shot instead, but Grubs have spawned over here. Let's just see who's close by. Kog'Maw and Jinx are left alone to the bot side. Everybody else is in this top side of the map. Will they be going into this Grubs pit? Now they're trying to walk in. The first Grub should be going down easily for Kakao Gaming, but they might have to run away, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. But Dead Corporal wants to pick up another one just before they exit, and they're trying to fight as hard as possible for it. Exits come on the backside. The first other Grub is closer to the side of Kakao Gaming. It does get taken by Dead Corporal. Here comes the Paranoia. He's going on to the back line. He's going on to the Vega. Here comes the Super Mega Death Rocket. Does a huge chunk damage to Bob in the front line. Dead Corporal still alive. The flash forward by Copy is enough to catch the unseen blade. As he's trying to run away, he does go back in with the W with the E. Does he have the damage alongside Copy or alongside AK-45 to actually get the kill? But no, it looks like Ezreal will end up falling down. W picks up that kill, but AK-45 in the meantime does go chomp, eats away at Love 2, but will unfortunately also be giving up his life to this Kled. This is a Kled who has now gone on a a killing spree after that first initial death. That's a 6-5 in terms of kills for Kakao Gaming, and they're going to look to secure all 3 grubs for themselves in that turn of events.
Yeah, and a lot of kills as well going towards W, who now goes 2-0-3. Sam is in trouble right here, but does not have the flash and barrier as well. But the chompers are good, and the Unseen Blade will get caught with that. But the Lulu is here to buff up the AD carry, and now Bob pays for overextending right there. That's going to be another kill going over to the side of Kakao. And now the Kled is fed, the Oriana is fed as well, and Dead Corporal is doing his job. That was a pretty good shock wave coming in, catching Bob out, and the Super Mega Death Rocket as well. Jinx showing up with her global ultimate right there, and the team fight was secured very easily for the side of Kakao Gaming, who now have a 1000 goal lead, and more importantly have all 3 grubs up for themselves. So again, the solo lanes from the side of Kakao Gaming looking really strong, have a big lead for themselves, and the team fight should be really scary for the side of Revenants, because I don't think there's too much escape for the poor Vegar and the Kog'Maw in these sort of team fights.
Exactly, nothing can happen. Even the last part, you saw Dead Corporal just goes on the back line. There was one Unseen Blade who's just waiting over there. Not actually much peel coming in for him during that fight near the grub side over there. But yeah, I like that global ultimate comes in from Sam, hits directly onto Bob in the middle of that fight, does get away a lot of that other star's HP, and comes back and copy, pulls back AK-45, doing a lot of damage. This Cho'Gath has to be careful because that copy is just going to end up remounting, gain a bit more of his HP over to that side. But yeah, on the bot side, you have the Yuntals completed for Sam. Kog'Maw still looking to finish his Blade of the Rune King. Has the Berserker Greaves at least for the attacking speed. But here comes Dead Corporal with the ultimate from W. The Shockwave comes in, plus the Paranoia. That combo is what is tried and tested. And they end up picking up a kill onto Unseen Blade. That's W now going on a killing spree. As he's going to be spotted by the wards, there's no trade back potential onto W, and this is the combo that we were expecting when we saw the Nocturne Oriana come in. That's exactly what ended up happening in the gank in the mid side.
Yeah, 100%, and the Vegar is getting stalled when it comes to his scaling. Love to going to get cancelled right there. Prayer Monster using his R, spitting on the poor Lulu right there to cancel the recall. But yeah, the Dragon has spawned now. Let's see what happens here. Revenants do have the tempo advantage towards the mid and jungle side, so it looks like Azan going to start that one off, but the bottom lane is getting shoved in pretty hard for Revenants, and Kakao Gaming doing a good job at that. AK-45 actually is towards the mid side of the map. The Oriana does not have flash available. That's going to be a big shutdown coming in for the Vega right there. The feast was up as well. Should AK-45 had decided to use that, but now the Unseen Blade is in trouble, has to flash away from the fear. Dead Corporal does not have his ultimate up. The Super Mega Death Rocket goes wide. And that's going to be a good play and a good trade coming in from the side of Revenants, picking up the big bounty onto the Oriana. And Copy might be in trouble here, actually goes down 1 versus 1. That's going to be another shutdown picked up for the solo lane again from the side of Revenants, right? The big mistake from him. The feast comes in, and AK-45 is going to get his 3rd kill of the game.
And just as we were saying, the solo lanes were looking good for Kakao Gaming. They both end up dying basically over there. AK-45 comes mid, helps out the Vega, gets the kill on to W, plus the cage, plus the ultimate from the Unseen Blade signals that. And then AK-45 just nicely goes over the feast on the top side, but another shockwave Paranoia comes in, combo on to Cho'Gath over there. He does have Ezreal close by. Observer, we need to go back to that fight. AK-45 ends up going down over there. Ezreal can't do much. He has to back away. But yes, another time we see that combo coming. The Shockwave, Paranoia always connecting from W, and Dead Corporal gets the kill onto AK-45. So this combo is coming in lethal, and AK-45 overextended, not recognizing Nocturne could be on the top side of the map over there, ends up giving up his life. And we see a bit of trades in lane. Oriana's gone top side, Kled's gone mid instead after that combo, because Oriana just gets the waves there. Now it's Kled versus the Veigar in the mid side. And you can see Sam is whittling away at this Kog'Maw, who still doesn't have his Blade of the Ruin King. Sam's also completed his Berserker Greaves. So this is the Kog'Maw who's a bit behind. The W is getting dodged from Potato Monster. He's trying to dish out damage on the way out for Kakao Gaming. but it's not Sam who's losing HP. It's only Love to. You have to be a bit careful here, Sam. Bob can actually end up jumping onto you, but I think we still have the Lulu Lord. We're still confident. Dead Corporal is close by if he needs to actually hover, come into the fights. But just taking a look at the game, so still almost 2k goal lead for Kakao Gaming, 9 kills to the 7 of Revenants.
Predator Monster taking so much damage from Sam, who has the Yuntal completed. Bob again going very low, but the cavalry is here from the side of Revenants. Zion and the Unseen Blade, the Event Horizon comes in. Jinx has to burn her flash. Dead Corporal is pretty close as well. Paranoia still down for him, so he's waiting to get that back up. And yeah, I think that is going to be the full stop on the skirmish that we saw towards the bot side. But that turret is pretty low. And I do think Kakao Gaming is looking to pick that one up, as they are 4-man strong right now towards his bot side. Just going over the items very quickly. Sundered Sky picked up for the Xin Zhao, the Archangel Staff. As we hold on to that, the Shockwave is going to miss. The Paranoia comes in, and unfortunately Love 2 goes down. W looking for the kill is not able to secure it onto Bob right there. Now W has the flash available should he decide to use that. Does so. The fear comes in onto Azine as he's going to go down, but a beautiful Event Horizon again is going to
Bob?
trade the kill. Sam gets the reset right there, and let's see if he can get more. Predator Monster goes down. The Unseen Blade might go down as well, but the passive is going to come in, and wow, that was so close. Sam and W on blinking HP bars. I think single digit HPs right there, and that is going to be a 4-for-2 all in all for the side of Kakao Gaming in what was a very, very close team fight in the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, there was a bit of a botch dive coming from Kakao Gaming. They thought they can go in with the Paranoia Shockwave combo on the bot side, but you get the flashes out here. Ends up surviving. AK-45, you have to be a bit careful. The ultimate from Kled doesn't connect, a bit on the wrong trajectory. AK-45 does touch on, but the bot side, yeah, talking about that. I think after you get the kill on Nocturne, maybe Fallout, you're going a bit too deep. Bob actually ends up going really, really deep in that fight. Gives the reset to the Jinx. That's all he actually needs to get off. And the Kog'Maw, passive from after his death, just almost gets the kill onto Sam. You can see Vega maybe trying to go for a double if that Jinx ends up going down, but no, Jinx ends up surviving. Copy has to be a bit careful. The Feast could be coming out. He has to flash away from the knockup coming in from AK-45 just to survive over there. Maybe try and get his remount. But here, AK-45 really wants to get this kill before the remount comes in. He gets the Feast, but in the meantime, in the middle lane, another Paranoia Shockwave combo will be landing onto the Kog'Maw, who had nobody close by. They end up picking up the kill, and this is just a rinse and repeat of cooldowns for the side of Dead Corporal and W in this mid lane.
100%, and unfortunately that's exactly what's going to keep happening to that poor Kog'Maw whenever he does not have the flash available, because he does not have any enchanters to save his life right there. As the Rift Herald now gets started from the side of Kakao Gaming, a lot of pings coming in as well, but actually it is Revenants who are starting this one up. Meanwhile, Kakao Gaming going to take this tier 2 mid turret, so they are calling it worth right now for sure, but the feats have been picked up for the side of Revenants, as we see another team fight coming in. Unseen Blade uses the Event Horizon, but it's not going to lock up anyone. Sam doing his bit to run away from Bob, who is just sticking up to his face. The headbutt is good, but unfortunately they do not have the damage right there. Double kill already picked up for Dead Corporal. The Shockwave is still there should W decide to use it. And that's going to be the third kill. A beautiful rupture comes in, but the Paranoia is there as well. Unfortunately for the side of Kakao Gaming, they will not be able to slay the Xin Zhao, but now the Shockwave comes in, and look at them diving the squad of Revenants between 2-3 turrets right now, and the goal lead is quite big as well for the side of Kakao Gaming, who are again just destroying Revenants in these team fights.
Yeah, 60 goal lead from them. This is the only time I didn't see the Paranoia and Shockwave combo. We saw the Paranoia come in first, they go in deep. Then the Shockwave comes a bit later, still end up picking up the kills over there. And there was a nice chase coming in. I thought Sam was maybe slightly inting with the way he was moving away from the lane when they were getting caught in the mid side, but still it does work out for them. They do isolate the fights. They end up picking up the kills. The resets also come in. The Jinx just barely survives from the Kog'Maw, passive yet again. I think that's just some deja vu things coming in, but it's a 4-1-7 Jinx with the Yuntal's Infinity Edge completed. Already got a nice power spike, looking to be building the Runan's Hurricane next, get some more damage in her own pockets. For the Kog'Maw, it's only the Blade of the Rooking halfway up to the Gitsu's Rage Blade, so he's a bit far from that. The Orianna with the Liandry's, you can see the Nocturne has his Hexblade plus his Stride Breaker with the slow stop side. Copy is building towards that Titanic Hydra. He already has the Black Cleavers, looking very strong. He was 3-1 at one point, unfortunately went 3-3-4 just because of some moves of AK-45. Twice AK-45 got solo kills onto him basically over there, so he has to be a bit more mindful of that. But I think overall Kakao Gaming are definitely in the driver's seat. They are continuing to show their domination from game 2. It's carrying over onto game 3, and Potato Monster is not being allowed to pre. Every single time this Paranoia and Shockwave combo is available to Kakao Gaming, Revenants have to be very careful of their positioning.
Yeah, 100%. And now going over the items as well, Madness, 2 completed items for almost all of the champions from the side of Kakao Gaming, right? That the Liandry's picked up, the Seraph's Embrace completed for the Orianna, Yuntal and Infinity Edge along with the Slingshot for the Jinx. So 1 reset, and she is going to melt the champions coming in from the side of Revenants, and the goal lead reflects that as well. 7,000 now for the side of Kakao as they are turning their heads towards this Artakan, and this should again I do not think if you're Revenants you want to contest this. The Oriana's coming there as well. All the ultimates and the flashes are available for the important members from the side of Kakao Gaming, but the Vega does not have his flash available, and if they have the timer, that is going to be trouble. Paranoia now blown. The Lulu ultimate comes in along with the Shockwave. That is going to be 2 very quick kills picked up. Make that 3 as AK-45 flashes away to survive, but Sam goes unstoppable as he picks his 5th kill. The Super Mega Death Rocket again is true, right? The Dead Corporal with a beautiful flash and Stride Breaker slow. And that is going to be 5 for nothing. And a clean ace for the side of Kakao Gaming. And again, this could be game if they can end it right here. The timers are pretty long for the side of Revenants.
They are trying to go for the end, maybe just pick up an inhibitor as well. They are marching it down. They pick up the attack and clean ace, but it looks like the call is to back away. They don't want to maybe overextend. Because, yeah, Itzian was up. Potato Monster is going to be up in like 7 seconds, so maybe just call comes in for them. But yeah, I think you let Ezreal go for the miracle steal, but everybody else doesn't need to be caught out over there. They can just end up going down, and even Ezreal's flash is a bit too far away from the smite range for actually getting the Bob might be getting punished for trying to come back into vision, gets pulled back into the chompers, but the pings are coming in from Kakao Gaming. They really don't want to catch the cow out. They just want to back away, don't give up. And that's a very smart move because you have bounties on Nocturne, you have bounties of Orianna, you have bounties on the Jinx, so maybe yeah, smart not giving that excess gold over to them and try and fish it out in fast fashion, because just looking at the same pace game 1 was going, that this game 2 is over here. The combo still doesn't have the Yuntals complete. The Jinx almost has the Rune and Hurricanes complete, so pretty much 1.5 items up onto his counter opponent right now, and he's having a pretty fun field with it. Unseen Blade might be careful. He's going on to Ezreal is just having fun right now. I don't think there's much Revenants can honestly do at this point. It is basically Kakao Gaming's game to throw. There's no much of point. They might even catch out Ezreal over here if he gets followed up, but they might be just looking for the Veigar instead. Here comes the Paranoia. They're going to land it onto Ezreal. Ezreal throws him back with the ultimate. But here comes Copy with the charge. That's a very dead Xin Zhao at the end of the day. Unseen Blade's not long for this world either. He does go golden, but it's not enough to save his life. He also ends up falling down. Xin Zhao ended up maybe getting, that tier 1 in the bot side, but it's nothing that can be done. You end up giving 2 lives for it. They're going to start marching it in. It depends how they want to end it. Kakao Gaming firmly will be taking the series 2-1. It's not much Revenants can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, they were quite pushed up there as the Shockwave is going to find Potato Monster, but unfortunately they don't have the damage to finish him off as the Paranoia is down. The Rupture connects. The Feast might come in now for the side of AK-45 to get the Nocturne, but no, Lulu comes in, flashes and heals his jungler, and he's going to survive. Bob looking for something like that, but I don't think he's going to find it as Copy flashes in, and that's going to be a double kill for Sam. And I think we are looking at the end of the game right here as Sam is going to pick up the double kill, the triple kill as well. Unfortunately, no quadra for him as W is going to pick that one up. And now Unseen Blade just surviving with a sliver of his health right there, goes into the Zonia and then connects his Meteor right there. So that was a pretty good outplay coming from him. But from downtown comes that Corporal with his Paranoia. And I think, and I'm pretty sure that is going to be game 2, going over to Kakao Gaming, who are looking really solid, I have to say, in this series so far. This one, it's not been close at all.
Yeah, it has. It has not, and the paranoia and shockwave combo has to do a lot about how their gaming style was in this game. 2 over. We've not seen many teams actually master it to this level in South Asia over here, and they're just doing it perfect time and time again, hitting that paranoia and shockwave combo. Copy had a bit of struggle top side, did end up getting a nice 1v2 over for himself over there, but ends up dying twice to the feast later on. But yeah, nothing else to be said. The Vega can't be. This is what the point we're talking about. You have 3 basically scalers in your team who are not going to get the chance to scale, given that Dead Corporal and W are just going to be hitting their ults off cooldown, basically, and they will just be coming in. Sam was not getting targeted enough. He was getting resets in the fight, especially that one fight in the bot side where they pretty much overextended after the bots died from Kakao Gaming. I think the game plan has to change definitely from the side of Revenants. Now there are a lot of picks that don't have to get banned out just due to fearless drop. They can move on with that, but still it's going to narrow down it quite a bit, especially for Peter Mono. We maybe even see Caitlyn in game 3, but yeah, we were expecting game here. The combo did not work out for him. He didn't even get any kills with his passive afterwards. 2 times he was close to getting Sam, ends up not getting it. But yeah, Kakao Gaming showing their dominance yet again in this game 2 as they take us to game 3, being 2-1 up in this series.
Being 2-0 up in this series to correct
Sorry,
you
2-0,
right there.
2-0 up, my bad.
Yeah, and they might even go 3-0, and they look pretty dominating as we look at this scoreboard. Again, a very quick game. Pre 25 minutes, 10 towers to 1. One dragon picked up for the side of Kakao. They didn't really need too many. One was stolen from the side of Revenants as they picked up 2 dragons for themselves. The Rift Herald as well. But everything else for the side of Kakao Gaming, ending the game with a 12,000 goal lead. 31 kills and 13 deaths. So again, Kakao Gaming looking really solid. And for the side of Revenants, the draft is a big issue for them, I have to say. The Veigar we have not seen from the side of Unseen Blade picks it up right here, along with the Kog'Maw, and that's just too much scaling, and I don't think you can fight against Kakao Gaming by picking so many scaling champions, and that is coming and biting them in the back for sure. And that has to change from the side of Revenants, because if it doesn't, they are looking at a very, very quick 3-0 series for themselves.
Exactly, it does not look that good. But I think your MVP has to be the man giving the shot. He's with the paranoia going on the backs of Dead Corporal. Dead Corporal also doing a fantastic, but your MVP for game number 2 will be W. 10, 1, and 19. Only just one of those deaths to his name. CS per minute, 7. Not so bad, but there's so much fighting going on. You can't blame this man. 922 damage per minute, 11.5k gold accumulated. But these shockwaves were coming in clutch. Even that one at the Drake pit where he got a 3-man pull up over there, but it was a bit of a disaster where Ezien comes in as the Zinjao steals the Drake. But yeah, every time else, the shockwaves, paranoia is hitting on point. They do a fantastic job of running this combo. We see a lot of teams actually a bit scared to run because of messing it up in the game, but they run it pretty flawlessly. They showed you what needs to be done on those champs, and they would take a pretty commanding lead in the series 2-0. Just one win away from meeting SEDL Esports in that upper bracket final tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, props to W. I think he has stepped up massively today. We had our doubts before game 1 started, where Singla and I were speaking about how this mid matchup could be a cause of concern for the side of Kakao Gaming, but W is showing up, and how MVP performance in this game too, connecting some really great shockwaves alongside his jungler. So credit where it's due, and W has been pretty good on this Orianna and in the mid lane so far. But enough about game 2. When we come back, guys, we will be going into game 3, and let's see if it is going to be a 3-0 for the side of Kakao Gaming, or if Revenants can fight back. So when we come back, it is going to be game 3.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. It's me, Madness, alongside Silla for Legends Ascent South Asia. This is the upper bracket semi-final 2. We are in the midst of the BO5 going on. Two games have gone over to the side of Kakao Gaming in pretty dominating fashion, if I might say so myself. And it was a good combo of the Oriana Nocturne last game. Let's see what other combos they come out. The Kled came in for Copy. Not the kind of clip we expected, maybe from the man, the myth, the legend that is Copy on this champion. He did get a nice 1v2 in the top side that looked pretty nice from our point of view, but later on he get feasted twice. But otherwise, his team played pretty well. Kakao's looking pretty dominant. They're looking to maybe carry that momentum on into game 3, take this siege down 3-0. It's up to Revenants to start mounting their comeback and start taking games for themselves.
I mean, that is very correctly said, Madness. First of all, excited to, go to the game 3 now, and let's see what Revenants have for us in the game 3. But right now, dominance is looking very one-sided from the, side of Kakao. Even though both the teams being very strong, being very high elo, players, I expected much of a fight coming out from Revenant's side, but today evening has been very, dominating coming out from Kakao. In the last game, finally, my boy Copy got to play Kled, a rare moment to be seen into the Rift, always been banned against him, but he showed why the champion is banned against him. The level of comfort and expertise he bring onto the champion was absolutely amazing to watch, right? And the early game start was still fine, but slowly the game just became a nuisance, and Kakao took that win very easily. With that, Kakao having 2 wins for themselves, Revenants having 0. We are going to start with a pick a ban phase.
We do have a substitution coming in. Instead of Love to Hallucination will be playing in over here for Kakao side. Yet again, Vladimir ban against AK-45 always warranted. You want to narrow down his champion because he is feeling for Charan ready in the top side. Let's see what he pulls out. He pulled out Renton game 1, he pulled out Cho'Gath game 2. Let's see what he has in store for us for game 3 over here as we continue with the pick and ban phase. Nothing else has honestly changed in these players. The same ban comes in for Revenants, the Jax against Copy, the Tristana against Potato Monster from the side of Kakao. Makes complete sense. Potato Monster's pool has also been narrowed quite a bit. His Smolder is also something that he can be playing, but maybe something that's not up. Given that Hallucination is back in the Rift, I think the ban of the Thresh completely warranted against him. One of the better Threshes in the region, to say not the least. Potato Monsters, Caitlyn is open, so is Bob's Luck. Something on this variety might be coming out. We might even see Sam first picking Caitlyn to deny that for Potato Monster, something along those lines. But let's see as this ban phase continues, what else bans come out of the if they actually do navigate around these days, but it's still going to be the Blitzcrank against Bob. As let's see what Revenants ban as their last one.
Yeah, I think Blitzcrank was something I was looking forward. You don't want to give Bob that in the game 3. After the Thresh has been picked away and Love 2 has gone out. Let's see what is the last ban that they invest against. Will it be against Dead Corporal, or will it be? But the champ pool right now is so massive of Kakao. It's so hard to pick anything. With that, they're gonna take away Gnar, taking away a safe pick from the hands of Coffee to blind pick into the top. And let's see what they're going to secure as the first pick for themselves. I think it can be the Ash, which is open for Sam. Again, one of his strongest and most comfort pick. At the same time, the champion brings a lot to the Rift, the level of CC and damage that it has to offer. But Azir is finally open for W and gets insta locked in.
We have seen him play on a bit of a hit-miss scale from his side earlier on in the competition. Let's see what he can bring out over here. Azir is pretty much a favorite champion throughout every single region. We don't get that many Azir players in ours, at least. Only a couple of times we've seen Dead Corporal also piloted sometimes in the mid side to maybe a bit of less efficiency. But Ezreal is going to be locking in the Jarvan for himself. J4 goes into the hands of Ezreal. Another good early aggressive jungler for himself, and Unseen Blade will be locking in that Malzahar for himself in the mid side. His Veigar unfortunately wasn't allowed to scale last game, but with the Malzahar you got pretty nice amount of util as well. But he has just that single level 6, just knock people in place. After maybe the Cataclysm lock them in there, but other than that it might be a bit hard for him against this. But against the Azir, you have a good range for your farming, how you want to get perfect waves going on. Maybe scale up that way, maybe go for kind of roams, but it looks like the Xayah will be coming in for Sam over here. Let's see what he wants to pair that up with.
I mean, it's gonna be the Rakan, the Zar Rakan, the official duo, very strong duo again. Rakan can give a lot of vision prio and can escape is a very slippery support at the same time, and Zai can self peel with the feather storm, with with E having that CC. so she can sustain herself. Again, a great combo coming out from the side of Sam and Hallucination. So I'll be excited to see how that happens. And Potato locking in one of his own signature pick, that is Smolder. Infinite scaling dragon who can be an absolute monster into the late game, struggles a bit into the early game, but Potato has put in hundreds and thousands of games into it. He knows the limit of the champion and is a very comfort pick for him. Right now, we yet to see what is the support that they're going to pair up with it. And I think now Kakao will be banning out the support for Bob Blitz already going away. Lux been taken off. I think another beautiful ban here can be maybe the Poppies banned by I think Revenants themselves. So Brom being a good option present here, or I'm a bit confused. Tarek can be a decent support. So let's see what he decides to pick for himself here.
Exactly. Sejuani getting banned out. They don't want that to be a nice tanky jungler coming in from Kakao Gaming. They do also need that kind of engage coming up, but you have Zero Zoom Shuffle, you have the Rakan going in as well. That could also be a lot for them. Kakao Gaming have that last ban. They are pondering what to actually ban out. Like Single was mentioned, there are a couple of options there for Bob, but what will you banning out against? It's going to be the Rel that gets banned out, so you don't have another tanky engage support on the bot side. Let's see what else they want to pair it up with and leave open that top side for getting that counter for themselves. So as we whittle down the times over here for talking about Copy, let's see what else Copy has up. His Nar's gone, his Jax is gone, Renekton's gone as these kind of the blind pick top champions for yourself. What else will you be coming up with? It's going to be a Maokai getting locked in for Revenants.
Yeah, I think that Maokai can actually be a support or a top lane. We have seen Bob playing a lot of Maokai. So I think, another beauty of Fearless drop, we get to see some of the lost champions onto the Rift. But let's see what gets picked there. They are locking in a Trundle, again, a champion we don't get to watch a lot, but a very, very strong champion at the same time. Copy plays. Trundle as well as Dead Couple plays Trundle. So I'm a bit confused where that Trundle is gonna go. But I think that clarity we're gonna get in next 10 seconds because I think it should go jungle. Let's see what Copy is gonna pick for himself there. But yeah, I'm excited to see where the Trundle is going to be located. And Gwen has been locked in again. A champion that can play top and jungle. So in the end, I don't have my answer. I'll get to know once we hit the rift. Let's see who picks what champion and what is the answer that is going to come from the side of Revenants against this, because this confusion is just not with me, even with them. So let's see what they predict. Should be Gwen top, most probably going to be top, and the answer is going to be Jace. I think Jace being a comfortable, a range champion, a melee champion who can safely farm into the top lane. If there is a confusion, is a great pick. I think coming out from AK-45 side. With that, we are done with our champ select, and both of the team looks beautiful into the draft. With the Malzahar J4 combo that is coming out, Malza can give that surprise to the J4. J4 can do a lot more damage into early game, especially when it comes to Azir for W. In the past, we have seen him not doing that great with that champion into the laning. I think maybe Revenant's strategy will be, suppressive and pick those early game kills for Ezreal, for the J4, so that he can create much more impact around the map, because I don't think this Smolder can do a lot, especially into the laning phase. So this J4 should be playing around top with Jace and Malzahar being in place, with a Gwen and Azir being there, not having best for escape. Let's see what happens here.
Exactly, and I think it's a bit of retribution for W, like you're saying, with the Azir not had the best of performances in the past, so maybe he's coming back here. Game 3, much more comfortable being in this space now that they have the 2-0 under their belts. Can be the ultimate game of the evening, depending on how Kakao do manage this out. But yeah, talking about the bot side, yeah, Smolder is just going to be looking for the stacks. Sam and Hallucinate can't let it just go even, try to keep that pressure on over there. With Bob, with his Maokai else later on can be crucial. You lock up people, then Malzahar can come in, just chain CC them for days, plus the Cataclysm, plus the Flag and Drag, and AK-45 on those targets that are just under rooted in place can do a lot of damage. He's going to be against Copy now on the top side with the Gwen unless they switch over. You can't tell for sure. And with these players from Kakao, they do love their role swaps and their lane swaps depending on how they go into the game. As soon as we go into the game, see who has the smite, then we know. But Trundle is one of the strongest junglers right now in the patch, even being played in the LPL, the LCKs, even in solo queue is pretty much the top win rate coming in for this troll god over here, Troll King. He is doing fantastically over here, and against big beefy members like Ezreal and like Bob, just gets his ultimate off against them, gets that added armor, will be doing fine in these team fights. I think the main thing is to look at this mid lane, and I think Ezreal will also be looking for a lot of mid ganks on Azir if the QE is down or any of those varieties, and it could be detrimental to the side of Revenants if they don't come back against this, because remember, this is Revenants with their backs against the wall. If they lose even one more game, they are out of this series and will be unfortunately have to make their battle all the way through the lower bracket, meeting Syndicate over there. Whoever ends up winning meets SCDL Esports in the the upper bracket finals tomorrow, and it's Kakao Gaming looking to be on that path with just one more win required for them.
All right, I mean, because of double elimination rounds, the game is still pending for us to enter the grand finale, Mandis. I know that is a game that we are all looking forward for, but yes, let's see, because with Bob also having, giving that thought, Bob also having a point click CC into his pocket, and J4 having that early damage, and we saw Revenants, at least in the bot side, were able to pick up some kills into the early game, but were not, able to do anything with it, were not able to snowball. So again, can be a great option for this J4. Something that is very surprising for me today is, even Ezian not getting point target band, right? His Viego being open, his Kane being open, he still did not choose those picks. I think he was trying to show the world, our viewers today, that hey, I'm more than those couple of picks now. I mean, he did fantastically well on the volleyball. He did really well on that Shinzao. So I'm hoping for the best, that he can bring with this J4, so that the teams can look up and stop target banning him in the future, because now his champ pool has become big. And before even moving into the rift, another thing, Manus, you look really sharp today. Really love the new look. I think kudos to that.
Thank you about that. Just got a haircut. Was looking a bit too much like a caveman, so we had to switch that up. But yeah, these games are looking pretty exciting. It is becoming more one-sided compared to what we thought the series looking. Maybe it could have been more aggravated compared to what yesterday's games were looking like, because these are more teams closer to the marks. Remember, because even during the Legends Ascend League stage, Revenants did manage to take a game away from Kakao in that 2-1 where Kakao ended up winning. So we expected maybe Revenants with more fight back. Maybe they start mounting it up over here. But for now, it looks like Kakao Gaming definitely showing why they're the number 2 seed moving on into the playoffs over here, and definitely are trying to lock in their spot against SCDL for God knows what number matchup it would be between them, because those guys have faced off against time and time again. Even in the qualifier 1, they took it to Earth's all 5 games in the finals of qualifier 1 over there, where Kakao almost maybe could have actually ended up beating SCDL. They had a huge lead in that game, but unfortunately it got riddled away. SCDL Esports mounted a nice comeback. They kept the resilience and they came back over there. But yeah, Kakao Gaming looking like they really want to take their vengeance against SCDL Esports by, just dominating the series. But without any further ado, guys, we're going to be heading in to game number 3 of this best of 5 series. This is the upper bracket semi-final. To Kakao Gaming on the blue side are winning 2-0 against Revenants on the red side, and looks like all Revenants members are grouped up over here. Let's see what they want to actually go for the play. You can see Bob's got to go over that side. W has to be a bit careful. He's going to be walking into a lot of members, gets spotted out with the soldier stands over the W had spawned over there. He will be dodging. Nice moves coming from W, dodges the Q from AK-45 as well. But with him seeing everybody, that's why you can see Trundle has moved in deep over there into the jungle side of Kakao, of Revenants, and now this might be a problem. W, you have to be a bit careful where you're aiming. Dead Corpus on that side, but it's still a man advantage for the side of Revenants. You're not going to be wary of this. Dead Corpus is going to get flashed on by the Maokai, rooted in the spot. AK-45 claims the first blood, and a bit of a misplay in terms of macro for the side of Kakao Gaming.
I think he was at a fantastic place. He had his plan, but I'm not really sure what did Cobble did there. I think he was having a little bit of fun or what. I'm a bit confused, but could have had a save back because they had an entire vision on the movement of Revenants. They saw them coming, fireman into the top. They were sitting into the bush. They had no idea. I think there was a confusion if there is a ward there already, and maybe Trundle thought his current location has been disclosed and he's not safe there. He thought let's go in with the bang, and with that Revenants is able to secure the first blood for Jace already into the game.
And you can see the zoning coming in from Jace against Copy. Copy's not being allowed to get into his lane. Nice change of pace from J, or changes his stance, goes into that melee queue, gets a nice damage onto Copy as well. Has gone Conqueror top side. W has the lethal tempers. Press the attack for Dead Corporal. Bot side, it's Unsealed Spellbook coming in for hallucination. So look for double smites later on coming in from the side of Kakao Gaming. Bob has gone for a more traditional aftershock as well. Mid side, it looks like Malzar has got the entire wave and is looking to maybe put some wards down in his own jungle to prevent maybe later parts of it getting invaded, and you'll have more ideas about where the Trundle is. But both junglers have started on the top side. It looks like Trundle is got that tempo, will be moving to the bot side at a faster pace than the J4. So the bot side is even pushed up for him, so not much he can do over the top side is where it was looking like it would be something could happen, because Jace has pushed this Gwen in pretty deep into her own turret. She only has one CS right now to her name, and she's maybe looking to capitalize on Copy. Starting off on the weak side, let's see how he can perform against AK-45's Jace.
Yeah, I mean, right now both junglers are moving towards the bottom, right? And I think there can be a 3v3 that can happen under the bottom, but the Trundle didn't finish the red first. Decided go for the golems. I think he's going to go for the red. He's anticipating a fight that is gonna upcome onto that scuttle into the bottom scuttle that is gonna happen, but the priority is already with Malza. Malza had decided to drop in a ward while J4 is securing that last camp. The scuttle is about to come up. Let's see if there is a fight that happens onto the scuttle. Even though Trundle has the red, I think Malza is gonna have the prior. Let's see who gets that scuttle. And as I said, both the junglers finally meet. The supports have started moving. The mids have started moving. And there has been an all-in that is coming onto the Trundle. The J4 pulls very low, flushes out. The Trundle is still low. The damage is coming out from the side of Malza, but does not secure the kill onto the Trundle. The J4 comes back in. They're able to kill that Azir into that exchange blow, but this ADC of the Sam of Kakao was able to move first. Potato did not join the fight, and they end up losing two members versus one in that fiesta.
They do, and now next kill is the pizza string. That if that actually knockoff had landed from hallucination, that could be trouble, because there's already two feathers behind the smolder. The pullback was going to be coming in any second. The smolder could have been forced to burn one of the summoners, but fortunately, Potato Monster backs up. But yeah, like you said, he doesn't actually come in for the fight. Ezreal ends up going down, so does Bob. So that's a bit of traumatic experience for them and the heal. But this time the knockup does land. Sam has the damage, but no barrier gets popped from Potato over here. Hallucination does jump back to his faithful Zaya, gets out of that exchange, but now that's barrier being burned from Predator Monster. CS being picked up in the mid side. A lost chapter has been picked up for the Malzahar, who's maybe walking towards his J4. Damage is coming for Potato Monster, but he's going to be definitely weak as the Smolder early games in. But Bob comes in, throws Sam back. He does trigger the barrier from Zaya, but here comes the pullback of the feathers, and it's going to be Rakan who actually ends up claiming the kill. But it's the feats of warfare for the side of Kakao Gaming. Rakan has the most kills of the game. The bot side have the entire kills for Kakao Gaming, and it's looking like they are definitely going to be putting on the pressure against Potato Monster and Bob, who are going to be weaker. Bob tried to go in, gets the root, pushes back Sam over there, but the barrier gets burned from him. He doesn't take that much damage as the lovers returned with a recall back to base.
I think that was well played by Bob. Bob was trying to push that. I mean, he got a good hold onto the ADC. He pushed him in the tower with the hope that the ADC can bring out the damage and secure a kill for himself. But the Smolder did not have that damage early game. There's not much that Potato was able to do even after that ADC being stuck into the tower. Uh, ends up falling up himself. So I mean, the hunter became the feast, and Bob goes down because another kill goes into the hand of Rakan. So I think they will not be too upset about it because that Rakan is right now sitting with 2 kills from the side, in the side of Kakao. So shouldn't create that big of an impact. But yes, I think every CS lost is still, the XP that is being denied. Every action has a reaction and has an impact. With that, the Trundle and Rakan already going on to the Mokai again. Mokai, being the tank that he is having aftershock, is easily able to just walk out without losing much of anything because they saw the team is present there, decided to respect it and goes back. It's a 3v3 happening in the bottom side. Nothing has been lost from it. Wait, they find the Trundle standing again. The J4 decides that he has the damage, but he's not able to do much. There, the Trundle is doing so much damage even without any coming in. Malta have flashes in, suppresses the Trundle, and Trundle dies. Zaya flashes in, is able to secure the kills there for the J4. Picks up another kill for himself. The Mocha is going down. The Smolder joins in the fight a little bit late. Does not have any damage, and Sam is able to pick 3 kills, 4-0 already for him.
Yeah, 3 kills picked up for him. Again, Potato is just a bit too slow on the move. He just wants to get his farms and his stacks, but his team is just perma fighting over there. Ezin is the one who had set up the trap up. A nice flash forward by Unseen Blade. Suppresses Trundle, like you said. Gets the kill over there, but they're going to lose so much more for that. And just because Potato comes late, he even ends up giving his life. Can't even get more stacks in the bot side. His skull that he had picked up has just only 9 stacks completed from it. But just look at the items from Zaya. She has a BF sword plus 2 daggers as well as only 2 long swords for Potato Monster. The damage is definitely on Zaya's side. Is 34, double the CS of Potato Monster. That's not what you want to be as the Smolder in this kind of matchup. Drake was left open. No one actually picks up that up, but Kakao Gaming have turned their eyes to the grubs that have spawned. Will be picking up all 3. I don't think much challenge will be coming in from Ezien, who is not close by. Doesn't even have vision on the grub, so nothing special will be coming out for him. Zaya has now even completed the Yuntals, the first full item completed in this game. She's 4-0-3 with a 400 gold bounty on her head.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of miscoordination that I'm seeing, in the side of Revenants right here because the J4 being an early jungle champion wants to play that aggressive early game. At the same time, Smolder already being behind a stacking based champion wants to play this game slow. So I think there is a little bit chaos of understanding between Asian and Potato here, where Asian with the J4 trying to make more impact early, but Potato feels as the champion that he is, Smolder not having any damage into the early game cannot do much. Yet again, they're fighting for the dragon when the Zaya is 4-0. The Zaya is an absolute monster. You don't want to pick fights right now against them. They lock in the Trundle again, gets a free kill for themselves. I think that looks fantastic for themselves. But Zaya is doing so much damage. They're able to pick yet another kill for themselves.
Ooh.
They kill the Zaya, get the shutdown, and Jace coming out with the snipe, securing a kill there for onto the Rakan, onto hallucination for themselves, and finally things working out for the side of Revenants.
Yeah, nice EQ coming from Jace at the end, getting it right. Yet again, Trundle tries to face check them with just that pillar for himself. Eats another suppress from the Malzahar. They pick up the kill. Sam couldn't do much. He did feathers fly, but he was still inside the Cataclysm. Couldn't go out, and just the damage coming in from 3 members of the side of Revenants is enough to get the kill onto Sam over there. So Sam in a bit of a misposition. Trundle trying to work for it. That's the 3rd death for Dead Corporal already at this point, and it's a huge shutdown also being picked up by Revenants. 4 kills picked up by the Malzahar, so he is pretty fed as well. So they're looking to be putting on the move. So what was looking like a 7-4 before is now a 7-7. So 3-0 in favor of Revenants, as well as picking up the Drakes for the sub. The only downside is the Smolder is just not being allowed to get his stacks. Every single time this wave is pushed in, still a 32 CS lead for the Zaya, and he's going to be very comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean the good is absolutely even between both the teams right now. But yes, onto this tag, this motor is struggling a little bit, but the Malzahar is now very, very fair. I think the pressure is gonna come onto that Azir also. As soon as the Malzahar ult is going to be up, now he's gonna look for some poke and he's just gonna go all in. He can melt down that Azir like he means nothing. I think even Azir picked on that and he decided to make some a magic resist early into the game for himself, getting the mercs in place, the first item secure for him. to deny the poke, or to so that he can take more of the poke from outside. At the same time, even the suppress timing will be reduced because of Merc trades coming in for Azir. So let's see what Broken Unseen Blade can do with the lead that he has, and if this Smolder gets some time, gets to the late game, will still be relevant. Right now, they're trying to pick another kill onto. I mean, they're trying to pick a kill onto the top. Beautifully played by DC. Gets the pillar right into the place. Gwen goes in. There is so much damage that comes out from the ult of Gwen, and they are easily able to secure a kill onto the Jace. I think Jace could have played that a little bit better, could have lived another day, but it's easier said than done. Another kill
Oh, bot
pick.
side. Here
Rakan.
comes the ultimate from the Rakan. Here comes the ultimate from the Maokai, but Maokai is going low. Sam is going alone on Potato Monster, who's being left to his own device. I don't think you end up picking the kill. Potato Monster has his CC, but Copy doesn't have Flash Mind. You had used it in the early exchange to get the kill onto AK-45, but he has the scissors. He's connecting them. One more auto from Asian from the flash forward by the J4 picks up that kill. Yeah, but the top side J4. Sorry, when the Jace was getting chased, he gets pillar, he flashes away, but the flash matched by Dead Corporal, matched by Copy, ends up
Right.
picking the kill. But that's why Copy is flashless this time. This might be even a dive onto Potato Monster. He has to be a bit careful. Dead Corporal's around the corner. He flashes from the W upset, and this might be a dead hallucination for his troubles of picking on the small Drake, because Unseen Blade has made his way over to the bot side, ends up picking up his fifth kill of the game in this series, and he is looking to be a monster later on.
I think well played by Unseen. He read that play. He knew that Smolder is going to be dived. He was right place at the right time. Right now, Zaya also expected the Smolder to walk up. Had the damage with 4 kills already finishing the first item and easily able to pick, something that I was talking about with this Malzaha being as spread as he is. He's just going to look for that all in. But J4 sadly was not able to reach out in time, take out the damage, and Azir walks out without any much loss and is able and lives to see another day.
Yeah, and first third picked on the bot means feats of strength locked in for Kakao Gaming, because they had the feats of warfare as well because of Halo's presence in the bot side. Copy is triggering his ultimate. The R3 does connect. AK-45 does end up going down. Copy had to go for the all-in because he saw the J4 coming from behind. J4 will be picking up the trade kill. Maybe would have liked to just leave it and let Jace pick it up because Copy was anyway pretty much dead to the turret. But no, Halo has come in over here. He's going to be putting down a bit of a deep ward in the jungle of Revenants. And you can see Halo is trying to even cancel the backs of Unseen. This is exactly what he does just by walking up to him. But that's a 5-1-3 Zaya. And I love the play of Zaya just sitting in the bush, anticipating that Potato Monster will be greedy to get these stacks for himself. Potato Monster comes forward. Zaya ends up picking up the kill, and that's just all well said and done. Good awareness from Sam to be aware of what situation he was in. He's already 2/3 of the way up to his infinity. He just needs the cloak of agility and the rest of that goal as well. But for the Potato Monster, his Sojourn has not been completed. He is far off the mark, while Zaya has almost made the second item. So he's one entire item behind. Only 141 stacks on that cull have been neutralized, left to be neutralized. So he has around 59 that he has got for himself. Bob will be clearing the vision that Halo had set on before. Drake will be spawning very shortly as well on the bot side of the map. Herald will be coming up in 40 seconds. So these are the two general objectives that will be on both teams' minds.
100% right now, the Zaya is 50 CS and 5 kills above that Smolder. She is looking very, very strong. So I don't think so. With the another dragon that is coming up, I see the J4 is already ready to pick that up. I think because that Malzahar is also very, very fed. Malzahar has his ult available. He'll be looking to lock down the Zaya, and if they are able to yet again pick a free kill onto the Zaya, then that dragon is going to be there. So both the teams are currently ready for taking up a fight into the dragon pit. They have a control ward placed looking for the same pick onto the Trundle, but this time the pick has been denied and Trundle is going to live another day. Smolder giving away some damage, taking out some snack for himself, yet do not have even his first item completed. So that dragon is just harmless, is not going to do much damage. With that, Gwen decides to go all into the Jace. Jace pushes him back with the E, doing some damage, taking out from both the sides. Both of the champion are falling down to 1/4 HP, but the Malzahar is onto the top side, looking for a pick onto the Gwen, but gets a misstep. But even the Mokai is there, the ults are available. A beautiful flash coming out from the side of Gwen,
Ooh.
putting their Azir coming out with a beautiful ult, pushes two-member in, and Gwen is able to secure two free kills for himself.
He's a Shirima shuffle from Azir. Very good. He knows he's locked up into place. As soon as that all just finished, he pushes back them over there. Copies in the top side. Nice cataclysm comes in from Azir, locks him up in place. Not much Copy can do. As you have just that Rakan just alive. Another flag and drive should secure the kill. Halu's just alive with 1 HP, but with that taunt, even brings Azir back into turret range. He gets the kill. Unseen Blade will be caught by Dead Corporal from the blasting plan. So nice recovery from Kakao Gaming on the top side. The Herald does go over to Revenants, but nice 2 kills being answered back over there. I really like that Sri Shuffle coming in from Azir. He pushed so many people back towards his turn, even put Hallucination in a tough spot, but Hallucination comes out on top. The shield comes out at the last second for him as well because of the locket of Solari over there. So well played from Hallucination over there. I really liked it. Here comes the TP top side. AK-45 will be coming in onto Dead Corporal, but another TP is coming in from the Gwen. So AK-45 has to back away, even probably has to give up his tier 1, and the top side can't go for that because you can see Copy is just chasing this Jace for as much as he can. Dead Corporal, you have to be a bit careful. Here comes the EQ combo. It does not land onto Dead Corporal over there, but Copy is in from this side now. AK-45 is the one who has to be careful, pushes him back with the E, but is that enough? AK-45 is trying to run for the hills. Copy's on the chase. Copy's losing quite a bit of HP. Here comes the snip. Flash away by AK-45. He's trying to come forward with the Q, but the slow from the pillar is enough to prevent the death of Gwen. On what side? Unseen Blade trying against the W, but it's not for all for naught because here comes Ezreal. He has the flag and trap, but from the passive of Ezreal, he spawns a turret in his own defense. You're not getting this pick today, J4. W is trying to walk in forward. Unseen Blade is walking up underneath this makeshift turret, but I don't think much can come of it. But it looks like they might even get caught out. Here comes Sad. Another good Shurima Shuffle flash forward by W, pushes Malzahar and J4 back. And that's the bot lane of Kakao reaping the rewards for that Azir ultimate over there.
I think that was beautifully played by, W. That was a great Sharima coming out. I mean, J4 and Malta were a bit confused to pick that. I think with that, hold their thought. Let the Jays pick up the free Gwen who has come too far. Going back to our bottom fight again there. Azir with the beautiful flash and ult coming in place. J4 and Malzahar had a confusion if they should go onto that Azir and pick that kill or not. In that, they didn't anticipate the flank coming from Zaya and Rakan. Zaya and Rakan joining that fight, coming from the behind, and Azir pushing both champions just into Zaya. Zaya already being as fed as she has, already having even her Infinity Edge finished, was easily able to melt down both the members and pick up 2 more kills for herself.
He did pick up 2 more kills for himself. Is looking fine over here. Is doing a good job. 6-1 and 4. Potato Monster finally has completed his Essence Reaver. Is looking to maybe make his Infinity Edge as well. But the Zaya has the Infinity Edge, the Yuntals, another Zeal, plus the Berserk Creeps. A lot of attack speed, a lot of damage coming in for him. You can see for the Trundle, he's completed his 24th, looking to building the Spirit Visage as well. So he's going to be getting a lot of heals back. Gwen is also pretty fair in the top side, but so is Jace. The Malzahar, who was pretty much at 5-1 at one point, has died twice in succession without getting any more kills for himself. That's also just due to nice ultimates coming out from this Azir. Twice he did it, once in the top side, once in the bot side. Ezreal against Copy over. Copy has to be a bit careful. He does dodge the flag and doesn't get knocked up, but AK-45 is close by. AK-45, you need to come in, but you're not actually going to be coming in good enough time. He does QE forward, gets the kill, but he could have maybe come slightly forward earlier and maybe even helped his jungler. He was just trying to dodge the R's coming out from the Gwen, but if he had size, it would be enough. But here comes the TP from the Malzahar, plus the suppression with the ultimate onto Hallucination. But that's not the kind of target you want to go on to, because here comes the Trundle, here comes the ultimate from the Azir. Unseen Blade left between a rock and a hard place, does flash the pillar, does have an explosive plant. He's on the run right now, and does it maybe he can get caught? But no, another explosive plant. I think it looks like he's safe. He's trying to run for the hills, but this is a Trundle you're running from. You're just going to W and get more movement speed. You're going to even take a couple of more turret shots. The E gets the slow, allows him to actually pick up the kill over there. Bob going in onto Zaya. Here comes Mother from Potato Monster, but he's getting dodged by the Feathers Fly, and the pullback allows Zaya to pick up the kill onto Maokai. This might be even a dead Potato Monster. Flash forward by Sam, equal by a flash by the Smolder. He gets away to safety. As in, you have to be a bit careful. W does QE over this side, but the flag and drag by J4 does save his life. He gets across the wall. A lot of action in a very short amount of time, but already the kills are 21 kills for Kakao to 14 for Revenant.
That damage from Zaya was so much. The Mokai just got popped like he meant nothing. Even Aftershock being popped up, even him after being a tank, the Zaya just melted him with one E. With this, the game just looks slipping away, from the side of Revenants, and there's not looking anything much that is going to come out from them because the coordination is not in place. The confidence has started falling down. Right, the Zaya start looking like a monster, secured the second dragon for themselves, picking up picking up their first Atikan for themselves. Right, Kakao being the team that they are, I think, are going to look to end this game as soon as possible from here.
They are going to be exactly looking to do something of those sorts. Zaya is doing fantastic. That was a great 1v2 coming in from her. Nice feather flight to dodge the ultimate from the Smolder. Ezreal has gone a bit deep with this Rift Herald, but he has the backup of AK-45 close by. Does take it all the way to the tier 2. Tier 1 on the top side is the only turret that has fallen from the side of Kakao. Meanwhile, they've picked up 5 turrets, 2 tier 2s in the bot side, and top side, plus the tier ones as well as the tier one in the mid lane. So they're pretty nice. Nice pillar by Dead Corporal slows as he's getting a blade blocked by himself as well. A lot of autos getting cancelled, but the flying drive saves as he flash forward by Dead Corporal. He's trying to go forward as well, but Ezin also has his own flash. Dead Corporal's coming from the side with the W. The slow from top does not connect, or the pushback. Another flag and drive. Here comes the ultimate for the Maokai to save his jungler. The Gwen is immune, ladies and gentlemen. Is that enough? Here comes W. A 3-man Surima shuffle from the Azir. But there are a lot of people locked up, but there are a lot of low HP bars from Kakao Gaming, but they are coming out on top. Revenants are going down and quickly fast pace. Unseen Blade and Bob are the only ones remaining for Revenants. A nice knock from Hallucination. Feathers fly from Sam. The pullback secures the kill. Unseen Blade is trying to run, but do you have a move? They already a triple kill for Sam. Can he make it a quadra? He's trying his hardest over here. They're chasing this Malzahar like it means nothing. Malzahar's trying to slow it down, get the damage out as Zaya has to be a bit careful because this could be enough. But the knockup allows Sam to pick up the ace very delayed, so maybe the quadra doesn't come in. But at the end of the unofficial quadra coming from an ace coming in from them, it was a very bloody ace at the end of the day. A 5-4-3 in favor of Kakao Gaming, but the bot duo of Kakao Gaming stands strong at the end of the day.
I think correct, right? I mean, that fight was looking actually in the favor of Revenants in the starting. When they were able to pick up a kill onto the Trundle, they were able to pick up that kill onto the copy, and but with that entry of even Azir hitting the four-man Sharima, still they were not able to win the fight. But I think after the Zaya coming in, right, there was nothing. It's like once the Zaya was in, she showed who is the real gangster, and she was just able to run down every member of Revenants, putting them to sleep and picking up 4 kills for herself.
Absolutely picks up. She's so far ahead of Potato Mosh with this motor. The scaling has not coming. He was denied quite a bit of CS in the earlier parts of the game. Every single time they were having mid fight, he was trying to maybe tell his team to back away, not go there near the jungle pit of the Drake, so that you can maybe allow the small to farm. But no, his team was not on the same wavelength. Like you said, a bit of miscommunication coming from Revenants in the earlier part, and that they're suffering now. Given that Sam is so far ahead, the tier 2 in the mid lane does end up going out. Dead Corporal has to be careful of jumping too forward over here. He does have his subjugate. He does trigger it. Has the added armor. He's just still wandering in that bush. Hallucinations close by to help him. The flag and drive does connect, but here comes the Maokai ultimate. Here comes the mother from Smolder. The damage is still not enough. Ezreal actually ends up going down. The slip step from Copy follows up. Another 2-man Shurima shuffle, but he just gets shuffled in place. He gets suppressed by the Malzar. He ends up going down. But Sam, the behemoth that he is right now, the monster that he is, there's nothing you can do against him. 2 Qs followed up plus another auto attack secures the death of Potato Monster. Again, Unseen Blade is left alone, but now there's still 4 members of Kakao left. Another ace coming in from Kakao, and this time losing 2 members instead of 3. The Azir and Rakan end up going down. Azir with a bit of a silly play coming in over there because the Shiva Shuffle didn't push them over the wall. But this is looking like the end over here. Kakao Gaming will be your victors here in upper bracket semi-final 2, taking the series 3-0 to meet SC2L Gaming in the upper bracket finals tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that was a fast game again and very, very one-side game. Absolute dominance shown by Kakao Gaming. They showed why they are on to the second place. The skill gap still between the team 1, 2, 3, and 4 has been massive into these plays. So yeah, with that, Kakao being qualified for playing into the upper bracket against SA2L, and Revenants will be playing Syndicate here uh, yet they're not disqualified, yet have one more chance to come back into the game, and let's see what they can make most of it. And hopefully they have their all five main roster joining them back, because today Charan Reddy was missed a lot by me. The pressure that is soaked up by him was missing. Potato needs to back up, because that bot gap was massive in all three games. And I'm not really sure what Revenants can do, but there has to be changes if they want to beat Kakao in the future games.
Exactly. Changes have to be, especially the game too, where it was just too much scaling on their part. They couldn't do much. Even here, just having one scaling in that smolder as well, like just a proper small scaling. Even that, if it gets denied, not much you can do in this fight. Dead corporals everywhere needs to be. Sam gets a massive, massive lead early on at that fight near the Drake pick. Gets 3 kills and it just becomes a monster. Every time he's coming to fights, he doesn't end up going down. He gets the kills for himself. Just looking at the scoreboard, for game number 3, 31 kills for Kakao Gaming to the 19 of Revenants, a 10k goal differential at the end, just around that 9k as well. 9 towers for Kakao Gaming. Revenants only picking that one tier 1 in the top side, 2 Drakes to 1. It's 25-minute game, but that Drake as well as the Rift Herald, all the Revenants got 3 grubs picked up by Kakao Gaming, plus the Atakan that they wanted to get for themselves. And they were just looking so strong. W, I think, definitely redeemed himself compared to previous Azir performances, because the Shurima shuffles that I saw this game show me what this man can actually do on that Azir.
100%, right. I think today W's Azir looked much more confident. I'm not sure about the amount of damage that the champion did, but yeah, at least the Shurimas were amazing. But I think it was an absolute dominance coming up from the Zaya side. Trundle played that game very, very well, very, very aggressive, being around the map, picking up those skills for his team. So yeah, with that, MVP for our third game is going to be Sam the Zaya. 12 to 1 5. I think there was one death that was given away to Malzahar. Otherwise, it would have been a 12 clean game. 8 to 852 damage per minute, 10.2 CS per minute, 14,357 gold. And with that, MVP is going to be Isaiah for game 3.
Yeah, 10.2 CS per minute is showing like numbers over there. But yeah, he did fantastic. He denied so much CS for pretty much, got a head lead for himself, did so much damage against him, and just that 1v2 just showed you what he can do on this champion pretty much over there. The feathers fly, plus, picking up that unofficial quarter. He had triple kills as well coming into this matchup. And yeah, I think the Rakan also played really well. Hallucination was coming in and out of fights. I think it was just so much miscommunication in the early game from the side of Kakao Gaming near the Drake pit fights, where Potato Monster wasn't making his way over, maybe he's telling his team not to fight, but they're still going for those fights, and unfortunately that ends up being the detriment for the early game. But yeah, the head-to-head gonna be the two junglers. I think Dead Corporal was only got the MVP in game 1, but he was a huge factor to this team throughout the series pretty much over, especially the Trundle here, the Nocturne last game with the Oriana combo that was coming in. So 22-8-32, he's going to be your head-to-head MVP. Plus Ezreal had his moments here and there, but couldn't have it come up. The Volibear was good for him, so was his Xinjiao. Even this game he tried his best but could not do much. 49.4k damage for Dead Corporal to the 24k from Ezreal. 7.2 CS per minute for Dead Corporal to just the 5 of Ezreal. At the end of the day, just a 9k goal in front Dead Corporal throughout the series. But yeah, I think overall, Kakao Gaming is looking strong, and Revenants unfortunately did not show up today over here in this series, and will have to face or battle their way through the lower bracket through syndicates to have a chance to reach that grand finals at the end of the of Legends Ascent.
Yeah, I think Asian did really well against DC. DC being one of the best players that we have, into the Rift currently. I think he performed really well into the game 1, into the game 2, into the game 3. I think there was a lot of stress, or the focus was a little bit shifted, a little bit frustration onto the J4 pick that I could see. He picked some fights which were not maybe were needed, understanding that Smolder cannot join early game. The team was looking a little bit into the stress, frustrated to take away at least one win for themselves, but Kakao denied any level of hope and took away 3 wins 2-0. With that, I think we are done with the games of today's evening. Kakao 3-0 against Revenants, and that will be the games for tonight.
Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter, I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition. I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in. Got me like on grind. Woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop.